Jonathan Gannon as their new head coach. He inherits an Arizona team set for an overhaul with 31 players expected to become unrestricted free agents. Also leaving Philadelphia, offensive coordinator Shane Steichen, introduced today as the Colts' new head coach. He's got a reputation for getting significant production out of his quarterbacks like Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts, something Indy's been searching for a very long time. Colts are expected to use the fourth overall pick in the upcoming draft on one of the top QBs available, and ESPN's Marcus Spears has a suggestion who Indy should take.
If I'm the Indianapolis coach and I can't get Bryce Young, because I think Bryce Young is the best quarterback in this draft, I think he'll be going off the board first to Houston. Beyond that, I think C.J. Stroud is the guy that I would feel more comfortable with building around. And Shane Steichen, to Mina's point, who tailored his offense to Jalen Hurts, I think he will have a lot to work with C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State.
NHL Alex Ovechkin will be away from the Capitals for family reasons for at least the rest of this week.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time your car breaks down, don't call it quits. Head to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And the Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world, everywhere you go with the iHeartRadio app. And you can also see us on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join us in the chat. How's everybody feeling? One day removed from the football season, and are you fully engorged in draftmas?
I don't think you have to ask me that question. I think that's rather obvious.
We know where you stand. I'm asking the peoples. Because 113 million, did you see that?
I did.
113 million people watched the Super Bowl.
It's the same number it was last year.
And now there are...
Yeah, it's a bajillion people. You want to know why we talk about football 12 months out of the year? Figures it out.
And now there are 113 million people who are lost now that the season is over.
It's okay. Today we have power rankings. It's our last power ranking show of the year. This is the never too early power rankings for next year. And for every team, I have given you a player that you should re-sign of your own, a player you should sign of someone else's, and a player you should draft.
Indeed.
And I'm not going to lie, for the San Francisco 49ers, that was really difficult because they don't pick till number 102.
It's hard to project that far.
That's a March question, but I answered it. And I think I answered it formidably.
Very good. Over the next 3 hours, we will give you the never too early power rankings for the 2023 NFL season. And yes, Jeremy has picked all the best ways that you can improve your team in this offseason. Let's hit the opening drive. Opening drive always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Go to 629 Brevard Road. Don't forget to drop the Sportsocracy name when you're in there making your trade-in, and they will give you $250 on whatever your trade-in is worth, whether you're in the market for a brand new car or one of their certified pre-owns.
I am very easy to spot right now because I am in the prettiest colored car you'll ever see in your life, the Boulder Pearl Gray Platinum 2023 Nissan Rogue that I love this car. And now Amy and I are going out of town for a couple days, and it has everything I need. Fits the luggage, fits the golf clubs, and it's not bad it's got a lovely, nice little fuel economy that's like it's a much smaller car.
Wait. So Jeremy's got golf course therapy coming?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, good for you.
Like 4 or 5 days of it. I plan on I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to go on my own dark retreat. But the difference between my dark retreat and Aaron Rodgers is that during the day, I will be playing golf and drinking domestic lights. And during the night, I will be just drinking domestic lights because you can't play golf at night because it's dark and you can't see the ball. So that's what I'm going to do with my 5 days off. And I'm very excited about it.
Very good. We will not be with you on Thursday or Friday of this week. We'll take a little elongated weekend, a little break after the football season has ended. We got to get the ducks in a row so we can get fully into the Draftmas season.
We've got some new little features that you will see next week for the offseason, and it's going to make it even more to where you can directly interact with us.
Corey Darharsh in the YouTube comments says, "Well, the XFL starts up like next week."
And
actually, I think it's this week.
It is this week. I already have my first DFS XFL lineup.
You do not.
I 100% do. 100% do. AJ McCarron's my quarterback. Let's go.
He just can't help it. I would rather play fantasy NASCAR.
I do that too. Can you bet on it? Then I will. Let's go.
I'll be all about some fantasy Daytona 500 lineups. Let's do that.
I'll do it. You will hate it. Have you ever played fantasy NASCAR?
No.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Just because you said that, let's do that. I will bet anything you want at least for your driver's wreck.
Okay.
Every person I've ever known, the first time they have tried to play DFS NASCAR, they're like, "Oh, I got this great lineup," and 5 of the same. Like I had a guy that finished, and it was the cheap guy because he was 500 miles behind everybody else.
Right.
There's an art to DFS NASCAR.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all. That's what I'm looking forward to this weekend. Out of everything going on, is the Daytona 500, the kickoff of the NASCAR season. Then we can forget all about it. Because that's what happens each and every year.
Well,
I get all excited for the Daytona 500, and then done.
It's fun for a week.
Until Bristol rolls around, and then I'll pay attention again. Anyhow, you are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, the way too early power rankings for 2023.
I don't think you have to think that hard about who number 32 is.
No.
The Houston Texans.
This is very easy. Now,
I don't care. I love D'Amico Ryans, and I think he was a great hire. Unless he performs miracles, your roster is awful.
Well, you're gonna have to overhaul the roster, but you got the number 2 pick. Now, are you gonna be able to luck out and get Bryce Young to fall to you?
I believe so. I am now more confident than ever. If the Chicago Bears do hold on to Justin Fields, which is much more of a thought than
they're gonna do it.
That's much more up in the air than you want to think.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that is impressive.
I have been told to back off that, and then no. And then a little birdie told me that Colin Cowherd had it today. Weird. I said that a month ago.
Oh, that there was a rumor.
I just love that everybody's.
Of that.
I just love that everybody's like a month behind me. It's 3 stories in 2 days.
Right,
you're a month behind me.
We have talked about this before. You and I are in agreement that they should trade Justin Fields, use the number 1 pick, get Bryce Young. But for the Houston Texans, that's where we're focusing here.
That it's Bryce Young. I'm not so sure that's the quarterback that everybody's after.
Really? Is it Will?
I think so.
Really?
I think Will Levis is going to end up going number 1.
Just because of the NFL body type?
Well, it's an imitation league. And you just saw Jalen Hurts, who the biggest drawbacks on him were what? He's not very accurate. He has an elongated throwing motion, but he's got a cannon, and he's a really good runner. I want you to think of who else does that describe?
It sounds like Will Levis.
Yeah, it's weird. Who is the new head coach of the Indianapolis Colts? Oh, yeah, Shane Steichen, the guy that just took Jalen Hurts to a Super Bowl. Yeah, that's one of those that it all makes too much sense.
Okay.
Which, if it doesn't happen, that's why, because things that make too much sense never happen. But for Houston, that means Bryce Young falls right in your lap, and I think he's going to. I don't think anybody can take him 1. And look, I think Houston screwed this up by winning a game that just meant absolutely nothing. So now your fate is in somebody else's hands. You do not get your first crack at quarterback, and you are not trading up from 2 to 1. It doesn't make any sense. You're giving up capital for no reason. I'll call your bluff.
Yeah, when your team is this bad, you can't give up capital.
And so for me, the draft player is Bryce Young. The re-sign player was kind of difficult because, frankly, there's nobody on this team that I'm looking at going, oh, yeah, I got to have that guy back.
Ooh, I wrote down a name. I want to see if it's the same one.
Okay.
Mine was Obonya or Kronkwo or Okoronkwo.
That's the one.
Yeah. He's the best one that they got.
He fits the scheme with D'Amico Ryans. It makes a lot of sense. And what do you do when you hire a new coach? He brings somebody with him from San Francisco, and that's Azeez Al-Shahir. He's a linebacker that is not paid like Dre Greenlaw. He's not paid like Fred Warner. He's a step below them.
Okay.
He can come in and be one of the three with D'Amico Ryans. And I'll also tell you this, I cannot get away from Trenton Simpson winding up with the Houston Texans somehow. Because the more I watch the tape and the more I thought of it, he reminds me of D'Amico Ryans. He looks like D'Amico Ryans on a field.
Okay.
A little bit shorter than you want him to be, athletic, really sure tackler. That's what D'Amico Ryans is going to do. The defense is predicated on having linebackers that can make all the calls, and I think with those two together, that's a good start.
So Trenton Simpson at the top of the second round.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I don't think you have to take him at 12. I've also heard some rumblings that they could move down from 12. I just don't know who's going to be – I cannot figure out who's going to be wanting to jump up. That seems to be the most common, well, you could just trade down. Okay, this is a lot like meeting people at bars. All right, just because you want to meet somebody doesn't mean somebody wants to meet you. Kind of important. Give and take. Got to be takes two to tango.
Right.
Not so sure that's going to be out there.
Okay. Now, who's the free agent that they could go after?
Azeez Al-Shahir.
Oh, okay.
From San Francisco.
Oh, okay. That was, wow. Starting big right there. You're going full-on star chaser.
I mean, that's not really a star chaser. He's like the 50th best free agent out there.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you just first of all, you're not going to sign high-end talent to Houston because they're not, unless you just grossly overpay them. Second of all, this free agent class is awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
It is horrendously bad. That's why there might be next week hey, these are the players you could trade for because free agency is not fun.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good year to just sit at home and keep your doubloons to yourself.
Yeah. There are a couple of other San Francisco free agents that could help out on that defense that D'Amico might want to bring on with him.
Oh, don't worry. They get peppered throughout the league. You'll hear San Francisco several times.
Okay, because, Samson Abukum is one that I think has a pretty good relationship with D'Amico Ryans. He's a young pass rush. Yeah, I mean, it could be an interesting piece.
I do want to address something that was said in the YouTube comments. Paul Richardson said, Jeremy, last year you said there was no chance the Jets were taking a corner at 4. Let me tell you why I said that. Because Robert Saleh wouldn't have. Joe Douglas did. That was the day that Jeremy learned unequivocally that all of these people that told me Joe Douglas is the decision maker and everybody else is just following in line to his Pied Piper, that's when I went, okay.
That proves it.
And you do get that some as you're going through the process of, Robert Saleh loves, and off the top of my head, I can't remember, Jermaine Johnson or somebody like that. Well, they wound up with Jermaine Johnson just much later.
Right.
Got Garrett Wilson at 10. With the greatest draft class in NFL history, no big deal.
Jermaine Johnson at like 26.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a heck of a class. D'Amico Ryans comes in. The news today out of Houston was that they are they're making, who is it? Slowick? Brad Slowick?
Yes.
I think is his name.
He's from San Francisco.
Yeah. He's the offensive coordinator now for the Houston Texans. Matt Burke going to come in as the defensive coordinator under D'Amico Ryans. At number 31,
the Chicago Bears. But the weapons. I don't know that I've ever been more confident that I'm right about something than I am about Justin Fields. I swear to you, if you don't believe me, go to our YouTube page. I get 50 comments on this a day. And that's just on YouTube. That doesn't take in Twitter. That doesn't take in all the other social medias. Justin Fields is great. No, he's not. Okay? No, he's not. Colin Cowherd went on a 10-minute diatribe this morning about how Justin Fields, you should trade him right now while you still can. And he basically took my entire argument and put his name on it and went, look what I did. I'm not saying he heard me say it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to venture a guess that we probably talked to some people that are in the same circles. Because that's all I've heard about Chicago is if you tie yourself to Justin Fields, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
The line's not as bad as you think. The weapons aren't as bad as you think. The defense is awful. So that's why I have them drafting Will Anderson. I can't get a read on every Bears fan. No matter what I say, I'm wrong. If I say Will Anderson, they want Jalen Carter. If I say Jalen Carter, they want Will Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
That's Chicago in a nutshell. But here's why I keep saying Will Anderson, because who has more money in the NFL than the Chicago Bears? Nobody, baby. So I have him signing Daron Payne from the Washington Commanders.
Ooh.
He's one of the only big game players that you can go get, and he's still so young that he's going to look at Chicago and go, I'm after the most money. Washington's not going to give him the kind of money that Chicago can. They just can't, they can't afford to do it. You got too many other issues. I don't think he re-signs in Washington unless he's franchise tag, which is possible. But if he hits the open market, that should be Chicago's first call. Because if you go Dwan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, who was a little uneven last year, but I still saw good, and you add Will Anderson, you add Daron Payne, all right, now I've got a third of a defense. The rest of it still looks like an XFL roster, but all right, I can't fix everything at one time. And then the player you have to re-sign is David Montgomery.
Yes.
If you let him get out the door, I'm going to make fun of you. You keep talking to me about how bad your weapons are. You have one of the best backfields in the NFL. One of the best 1-2 punches in the league. Your receivers are guys you invested in. It's not like, no, you spent a second-round pick on Chase Claypool. First of all, I want you to think about what I just said. You spent a second-round pick on Chase Claypool, and you're calling me an idiot. Okay? Pot kettle. Right. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
But you did that. So, I mean, you're invested in all of these things. I don't think it's going to work with Justin Fields, and I'm not the only one. But whether you stay with him or not, this would be the stay with him path. You're going to have to beef up that defense. I also love the thought of, he's a poor man's Jalen Hurts. Awesome. Jalen Hurts had the best roster in the NFL. You have the worst roster I've ever seen, and it's not all that close.
And those Bears fans who are screaming, but the weapons. Okay, you want to upgrade those weapons? How you can do that?
Yeah,
I mean, there are a lot of them in the draft.
There's not a receiver on the board in free agency.
No,
the best receivers in this class are Juju Smith-Schuster
and Jacoby Myers.
And I think it's Jacoby Myers by a mile, and he ain't taking your money. I hate to break it to you, he's not, because he's going to have a lot of other options.
No, your other options are Mecole Hardman and DJ Shark.
Yeah.
Yay!
Awesome!
We got all this money. We need to spend it on weapons. What weapons? You think you're going to be able to swing a trade for DeAndre Hopkins? I've heard that more than I want to.
Because there are people that think the number one pick is worth what it's worth every year. It's not. Yes, you have the number one pick. Yes, that's a great asset. It's not worth this Godfather offer that you think is coming. So for me, build the defense with Will Anderson, continue to ride this Justin Fields train, and just know that it's gonna come off the tracks. And I just want that on camera said as many times as I can.
Sportsocracy way too early. Or I guess never too early. Never too early. I keep forgetting. The never too early NFL power rankings continue next. Your team and how can you fix them?
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
All right, people, it's Valentine's Day. Everything has to be perfect.
Yes, Chef.
At Ingles, we know that not every Valentine's Day is 4-star perfection, with string quartets and swanky restaurants.
My boyfriend bought me flowers.
That it's not the money you spend or the elaborate lengths you go to.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It just has to come from the heart. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Hey, it's Nate Burleson. Check out my new podcast, The Process with Nate Burleson. It debuts with my first guest, Rihanna. Her interview was just a taste of the heat we will bring you here on The Process. I'll talk to A-list celebrities, athletes, and visionaries about their process. What steps did they take to achieve greatness? New episodes of The Process with Nate Burleson drop all year long on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Yeah, guys, hey, don't be a disgrace either. You know what today is, right? It's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So do all of the things. If you didn't do anything yet, you can at least stop by an Ingles supermarket. Low prices, love the savings. Get you a card, get you some flowers. They've got nice little bouquets of flowers for $13.98. I've already been by there today.
Let me give you a hint. If you haven't scheduled a reservation yet, you're eating at home, so you might want to plan accordingly.
We never really made a big deal out of Valentine's Day in my house because my wife's birthday is 2 days before Valentine's Day. So we
always find a reason to take a trip. We're going down to see Cat Williams in Greenville.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah,
that'll be awesome.
Yeah, my best friend. I'm an awful friend. My best friend had a baby several months ago, and I have yet to make the trek to see this child.
Several months ago means 24, right?
No.
Oh, different. Okay, I must be thinking of a different friend.
No.
Because I think you've told me that before, but that was like 3 years ago.
Well, this is the second child. I have seen that child a few times.
Okay, all right.
Now it's
a new child.
Yes.
Okay.
Now it's to the newest child.
Like,
they had to hang out with the older child.
Like, wow, you're really slacking on the Godfather duties.
I'm not an awesome friend. I'm really not.
So yes, today is Valentine's Day, guys. Don't forget your wives, your significant others, whoever that special person is in your life. Do something nice for them today. You'll thank me later. All right, let's get back into the never too early power rankings for 2023. Your teams and how can you fix them in the offseason. At number 30,
the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, all right. So you're not going to have Kyler Murray.
No, you're going to have Jonathan Gannon.
You do have a coach now, though.
Yeah,
you got
Jonathan Gannon. Let's go.
Former defensive coordinator for the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. I've seen a lot of criticisms today of why do we take that guy that blew the biggest lead in the Super Bowl? Well,
hey, you do get that your job wasn't super attractive. That's why you had to wait until 2 days after the Super Bowl to pick a coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's also why you interviewed 400 people.
Jonathan Gannon, though, steps in. I probably would have rather seen Lou get that job.
I would have preferred Lou Anarumo, but Jonathan Gannon's younger.
Yeah.
I get it. He gets a 5-year deal. This is a lost year. It's just this is the time where you have to start putting things in place for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
you're missing your quarterback for half the season. So you're down 7 before the season's even begun.
Right.
So that's the reason that I have you taking Jalen Carter. If you've seen this Philadelphia defense, you know that interior pressure is very, very relevant to Jonathan Gannon, and it's all about being multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Jalen Carter's more multiple than Will Anderson, and that would probably lean me to that would be the pick if Arizona has them both, which I think they will. I think quarterbacks go 1-2. Arizona will get their choice of which one they want, and it would be Jalen Carter.
Arizona has some money to spend in the offseason.
Yes, they do.
Do they spend big on any free agents?
I think you have to absolutely go all in on James Bradbury. Look, this defense is not bereft of talent. It's been bereft of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I could make the argument that Jonathan Gannon has never had as many malleable pieces as he's going to have in Arizona.
I could see that.
That's the most multiple defense in the league. You would ask their beat writers, what defense do we play? And you'd get 5 different answers from 5 different guys because that was the goal. I want to throw different looks at you, different fronts, and that's what you're going to get out of Jonathan Gannon. The good thing is that you've got a Zaven Collins, you've got an Isaiah Simmons, and you've got a couple other pieces. I considered saying you should re-sign Zach Allen. I just know you're not going to. So Byron Murphy is he
going to cost too much? Is that?
No, I don't. It becomes kind of hat on a hat because in a 3-man front, Jalen Carter is going to play on the end. In a 4-man front, he's going to play in the middle, and him and Zach Allen next to each other it's probably not worth the money of what you're going to do. There are other ways that you could attack that. So I'm taking Jalen Carter there, and that's how I'm going to build my defense around him.
Okay.
Now, do I think he is a franchise piece in this draft? Yes. Compare it to years prior, maybe not as much. I think he's an elite talent. I just haven't seen necessarily elite production. But, I mean, there is a possibility, and I'm not going to tell you this is super high, but it is a possibility, that the Cardinals are going to end up being a very run-heavy, defensive-first team under Jonathan Gannon, and you're just going to see it be like Philadelphia light. They're going to play really good defense, which means you're going to invest all your capital into the defense. And you just kind of look at Kyler Murray and go, hey, figure it out. The Cliff Kingsbury, we're going to throw it 55 times a game, those days are gone.
Right.
So Arizona's an interesting team for me in the offseason.
At number 29.
Another team that has a new coach. The Indianapolis Colts.
Shane Steichen, the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, now their head coach. What do? You're picking number 4. It's been Will Levis forever.
It's still Will Levis. I think they would trade up to 1 to get Will Levis.
Okay.
He reminds me of – I mean, there's a little Jalen Hurts in Will Levis. This is an imitation league. He's going to blow the combine out. Whatever he does at the combine, he will crush. Because you put him in a pair of shorts, and he looks like an absolute Adonis. I mean, he's got one of the best deep ball arms I've ever seen. I know what Jim Irsay said about, well, the Alabama guy looks pretty good. Well, you're going to have to trade up to get him, and I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think you're trading up for a guy that's $1.90. I struggle to believe that. I've struggled to believe that the entire time. So I could easily see Irsay falling in love with Levis. I've been told that he's already halfway there, and that's the guy you build the offense around.
Okay.
And to augment that, you go get DJ Chark to be the high flyer on the opposite side of Michael Pittman. Use Alec Pierce more the way that you're supposed to. I like Jelani Woods, and you lean on the run game. That starts to look Philadelphia-esque. Because that's what they're going to do.
Go ahead.
I mean, you hired Shane Steichen because of what he did in Philadelphia. So he's going to try to come in here and make a facsimile of that. Easiest way to do that's with Will Levis. He's got the deep ball arm. You're going to have to give him a weapon that can hit you over the top because they don't have one of those. You can tell me Paris Campbell until the cows come home, but I've literally seen him play like 9 games in his life.
Right.
Because every time the wind goes above about 8 miles an hour, something on him breaks.
All right, and who's their impending free agent that they need to target?
Bobby Okereke.
Okay.
I think the defense can be good. It just has to be healthy. I mean, you really look down that roster, you have an elite player at all 3 levels. DeForest Buckner in the front 4, Shaq Leonard in the linebacking core, and Stephon Gilmore at corner. Am I telling you he's what he was 5 years ago? No. He's still a top 10 or 12 corner in this league. So, I mean, depending on what that staff looks like, that's the staff with Steichen. I'm really curious to see what that's going to look like.
Yannick Ngakoue would be one for me as well.
I don't know. Yannick Ngakoue is becoming like the great Sasquatch of the NFL. I'm always told that people have seen him do great things. I just don't ever see it.
So he's your new Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later, too.
All right, you are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We will continue with the never too early power rankings. Plus, we'll get just a bit outside after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wild numbers for Valentine's. Temperatures in the upper 40s tonight. 47 degrees in the valley. Cloudy on Wednesday. Close to 70 tomorrow. And then a Pacific front marches through the Carolinas Thursday. We could see some half-inch to one-inch rains Thursday night, Friday morning. Highs Thursday in the 60s and turning cooler Friday with morning showers, high 52. Much colder Friday night, 23. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
It's our President's Day special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
If you're like me, when I'm working with wood, safety is my #1 priority. That's why I use the Wall Manscaper. With its patented wraparound guard and safe touch blade, it's the safest tool for whittling below the old carpenter's belt. No nicks, no cuts, no fear. So protect your package, and all of you, with a full set of Wall Manscaper tools. Groom safely, my friend.
All the radio stations you love, every playlist to match your mood, the podcasts that everyone's talking about. If it's on the iHeartRadio app, it's free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
The Ingles 2023 Southern Conference Downtown Dribble and Kids Fest, presented by Champion Credit Union, will be held Saturday, March 4th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Roger McGuire Greene at Peck Square Park. The Downtown Dribble will feature interactive games, inflatables, pet bands, cheerleaders, and parade. Each participant will receive a basketball, Downtown Dribble t-shirt, and a ticket to the noon session quarterfinal basketball games. Check-in will begin at 9:30 a.m. at Roger McGuire Greene. To register, visit downtowndribble.eventbrite.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Well, with the football season over, there are some of us.
It's not over.
There are some of us who are trying to get our minds wrapped around other things, get caught back up on the basketball season, college basketball, the NBA, if that's your thing. Baseball season's right around the corner. The Daytona 500 is this weekend. It's kind of the fog lifting on an amazing season once again. And now it's time in our brains for other things. And baseball is on my mind today because there is a chance that our local city, Asheville, North Carolina, could lose our minor league baseball team. This is picking up steam because action has to be made now. By April 1st of this year, there has to be a plan in place and financing in place to make $30 million in improvements to McCormick Field in downtown Asheville, or we lose our relationship with minor league baseball. Minor league baseball has come through and demanded all of these new upgrades to ballparks all across the country. And it doesn't matter if you're AAA, AA, single A like Asheville is, you have to make these improvements or you're not going to have a minor league sponsored team anymore. I've been wrestling around in my head with this forever because I was raised at McCormick Field. I mean, I saw some of the greats of the game start their careers here in Asheville. Craig Biggio is one. Bobby Abreu, just a couple of the guys that have come through this. Matt Holliday. There have been a lot of guys that we have seen start their careers out here, and I don't want to lose this. But I also don't know if this is the right thing for the local town to make. Like $30 million, that's a hell of an investment.
How honest you want me to be here?
I mean, I want you to give your opinion. Is it worth it for a town like Asheville to have this kind of an investment in a single A ballpark?
I'm going to put this as diplomatically as I can, and I'm going to channel my inner Ric Flair to do it. This town has has wasted more money on spilt liquor than what they're asking for this team. And so if that's like a big impediment to you, I really challenge you to go through the budget.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take a deep dive on what we do spend money on, then we'll chat.
Mm-hmm. I think it would be awful for this town to lose the Asheville tourists.
I agree wholeheartedly.
However, I also have it in the back of my mind. Is there a better solution here? Is there a better solution to not do the upgrades and try to go the independent route? Try to join like the league with the Savannah Bananas or something. We could put the Lazoom people in charge of all the promos and festivities and stuff at McCormick Field and turn it into circus baseball. Would that be a draw?
We're already you're out of my wheelhouse here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. But what I do know is that McCormick Field is a bastion in this city. It is a historical landmark. It's one of the greatest ballparks in all of minor league baseball, and I'm not just saying that because I live here and I was raised in that ballpark. You can talk to experts around the baseball world. McCormick Field is one of the most charming places in all of minor league baseball. I don't know that we need, a 360-degree concourse because there are no outfield seats. What do you need a concourse that goes all the way around the stadium for? But that's what's required by minor league baseball.
It's not your choice.
No, it's not. It's not.
That's their rule.
It's not.
Here's what I know. All right, I know I know a lot of people with the tourists that are employed by the tourists, and they do a great job doing many things around this city. And it would be a travesty to me to lose that.
Absolutely.
And so anything that I can do or you can do to help that, I'm going to do. And if you don't pony up the money, don't be shocked when I ask, well, what are you actually spending it on?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm trying to get political here.
No.
This is one of those times that, yes, it's a big expenditure. We spend a lot of money in local government on things that don't necessarily make a lot of sense.
And according to the
a lot of things that do. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just this provides employment and a lot of opportunities that nothing else in this city does. It would be a travesty to lose it.
Absolutely. I fully agree. There's an estimated economic impact annually from the tourists of just under $10 million to this community. $30 million in one single outlay, I don't think is too much to ask to save it. 150 full and part-time jobs associated with the ballpark as well. We need to do everything we can to keep McCormick Field. And you can do your part. Go to McCormickField.com. There is an Act Now button on the website, and you can write to the Asheville City Council. You can write to state legislators and make sure that the funding is set aside. Again, April 1st is when the plan has to be in place, or that partnership with the Houston Astros and minor league baseball is kaput for Asheville.
My story is a little less heavy, and it's really more of a question. My story is about Reed Malone and Ellen Pyatt. They are two huge Dallas Mavericks fans. And in 2021, they got engaged at half court of a Mavericks game. Isn't that sweet?
That is sweet.
Is it, though? Is it sweet, though?
What's the drawback?
That you got, I mean, you proposed at a Mavericks game. I mean, you got to, first of all, if I proposed to Amy at the 50-yard line of a Jets game, she would not be HWA. She would be a hot girl that I formerly dated and now is on to much better things, Amy.
No, but if you did it at the Steelers game, if you did it at her ballpark.
Nope, same as the first.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
She's super cool, but there are certain boundaries that but I'm not done. All right, not only did they get engaged at mid-court in a game in 2021, last night they got married during the halftime show. I have to know how you opined to that. Like, how? So, hear me out. We're going to bring in a minister, and he's going to marry us during the halftime show. The other thing I want to know is if Red Panda was stacking balls on top, like back behind it.
I would have demanded it. I would have demanded that we have Red Panda and the chair guy. I don't know
and
his
the
name.
dogs. I need the dogs that like catch frisbees too.
Right.
I need the full boat of halftime entertainment happening around.
All of it. So you're fully against this engagement, wedding, anything associated with a sporting event?
I wanted to get married at the draft last year. So
true. I forgot about that.
I wanted Mel Kiper to marry us. That was met with aggressive resistance.
Look, it just takes a special woman to get on board with a plan like that, and that's when you know. Like, you got to throw it out there. Look, I went to Boston on my honeymoon with my wife. I said it as a joke because we were getting married during baseball season, and I went, "Hey, I'd really like to go to Boston for our honeymoon." She said Hawaii.
That
As
would
you
make
do.
more sense.
Right, like, tropical getaway for the honeymoon and all that. I said Boston, and she thought about it and went, yeah, we could do that, and I bet we could even catch a couple of Red Sox games while you're there. Marry me now.
Yeah, Amy has.
And we did. We went to 2.
Amy puts up with a lot, all right? A lot of senior bowls around birthdays and the draft around our anniversary. I ain't pushing this one, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't need 20,000 people at my wedding. Frankly, we're inviting 50, and I'm struggling to get that far. Like, I mean, we could cut out Uncle Joey because he's a crazy person, okay?
Really? Does Tank have to come? Because that's not,
the beauty of Tank is that I know the cash bar is not going to be something that you're hitting aggressively.
That might be the downside to it. Tank's not going to spend a lot of money. Maybe we should not invite him.
You take that up with the bartender.
All right, let's get back into it. Never too early power rankings for 2023. We've had Houston, Chicago, Arizona, Indianapolis. Number 28.
The New Orleans Saints. This is, I mean, your sign is Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sign Derek Carr, this number gets higher?
Yeah, it goes up.
But by how much?
4 or 5 spots.
See, that's where I was at.
I'd put you above Tampa. I'd put you above Vegas. I'd put you above, I don't know, Washington maybe.
But see, I'm still stuck on no matter who the quarterback is, your head coach is still Dennis Allen. The guy who is supposed to A, is one of the worst head coaches I've ever seen. B, is supposed to be your defensive guy, and your defense regressed at every position.
And Pete Carmichael's still going to be the offensive coordinator.
And you're killed against the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not let's just rearrange the deck chairs. You add Derek Carr, I'm telling you right now that roster is not going to look anything like what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will start losing players at a very high clip.
But I think you need to. I think New Orleans is at the point where they need to.
See,
You're not chasing championships anymore.
Then why are you signing a $40 million quarterback? Because Derek Carr's not coming for less than that. I mean, I hate to break that to you.
Mm-hmm.
So then why are you doing it? Just so you can be a 9-win team? Woo. Or here's another thought. You just be awful. Just roll it. Swallow the frog. Get your salary cap situation right. Be picking in the top 5 next year. Then go get a quarterback that makes, $10 million a year for 4 years before you have to pay him. And that's how you build a Super Bowl contender. Because you don't have to completely gut the roster. And you're going to for a year because you've got, I think, $35 million in dead cap that's not going anywhere. So I just look at New Orleans and go, I don't necessarily love this plan with Derek Carr. I mean, I get why you're doing it because, oh, great, we can go in the division. Are you in Philadelphia's class? Oh, good Lord, no. Or San Francisco or any of these other teams. I just swallow the frog. All right, you've kicked this can down the road forever. You know Dennis Allen's not the coach. I get Saints fans that message me that at least once a day. You know where this is. Take this year to be bad. Then go get a young quarterback, and that way you can build a team. And then this job is really attractive in a year.
Okay.
The re-sign is Marcus Davenport.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you can tap out on that early. And then the draft is this would, I guess, be assuming that you signed Derek Carr, would be Luke Musgrave, the tight end out of Oregon State. You need another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And he has screamed up boards. And I've seen what Derek Carr can do with a hyper-athletic tight end. And Musgrave's going to run about a 4.5 at 6'4", 255.
Okay.
Let's go.
So tight end is the target weapon for you? Or is that just because they're picking at 41?
Well, no, they're picking at 29. But
that's right. I forgot.
It's more, I don't know what else you're going to do. Because I don't feel like you can get out from underneath Michael Thomas. I mean, maybe you can if you're just going to tap out. If Derek Carr goes elsewhere, then you can tap out on Michael Thomas and just go, you got to be somebody else's headache. And you keep the young pieces and try to build out the roster that way.
Okay, at number 27.
Oh, same division. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, I hate to break this to you. 3 of these teams are going to be real close to each other in the same division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I feel
pretty.
like, look, New Orleans and Tampa Bay are in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
You have a talented roster.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I would feel better knowing things about the Clintons than I do about either one of your coaches. Because, frankly, I think they try to outstupid each other on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got defensive coaches in an offensive league, and now the offenses are unsettled. That's the problem.
And defensive coaches with typically offensive teams.
And that's the thing
problem.
is that now both of these teams had issues defensively, don't get me wrong. But the problem, why you're down here, is the offense. And so you're leaving it to Todd Bowles and to Dennis Allen to figure that out. 2 guys that historically, this is both their second shots at head coaching jobs. None of them have ever had even average offenses in the league. I feel like you're this is like trying to row a boat. I don't know if you've ever been in a boat where you got an oar on each side. Well, if you get off track, you actually start just working against each other, and you'll start spinning in circles.
Right, yeah.
That's what both of these teams are doing.
Okay.
Now, could the Saints sign Derek Carr? I don't think Tampa Bay's in on him. That's more of a Jimmy Garoppolo spot, which is the sign for me if you want to stay competitive.
Okay.
I just don't know what it's going to lead to. So you spend $25, $30, $35 million on a quarterback, and what are you? Buccaneers with Jimmy Garoppolo. What's your record?
I mean, you're
7-10 with Tom Brady.
Right. I mean, you're in the hunt for the division.
And then what?
And then that's
slaughtered.
It. Yeah.
I mean, just slaughtered.
Yeah.
And that's not my thing. For me, the re-sign is nobody because you'll end up overpaying Jamel Dean. You'll end up overpaying Levante David because they're legitimate contenders out there that will spend on both of them.
That's the concern for me as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan is, are they going to try to make the last-ditch effort to sign Levante until he's done? I think it's more likely that they retain some of the lesser pieces that are free agents. They'll work out some kind of a deal with Sean Murphy-Bunting to keep him around. They'll work out a deal with Aaron Stanley to come back as a guard next year.
Jackson Clark in our YouTube comment said Tampa should blow it up. I don't know where my bell is, but I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you.
Yes.
You have pieces that you could do that, but New Orleans and Tampa are in the exact same boat on each end. Your salary cap situation ain't going to get better. You're going to swallow this frog at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a question of when. If you do it now, you're going into a much better quarterback class. I know we said that last year, but this class is much better than last year. Last year's the worst quarterback class I've ever evaluated. It wasn't close.
Mm-hmm.
This year's good, but it's not special. I think there's a handful of starters. I could see 3 legit franchise quarterbacks next year. And at some point, you just have to take the risk. Tom Brady doesn't fall out of the sky often. Neither does Derek Carr, neither does Jimmy Garoppolo. The problem with that is now you're paying – there is a possibility, and I don't remember the exact numbers on this. There is a possibility that whoever signs Derek Carr will be paying him more next year than the Chiefs pay Pat Mahomes.
Oh, wow.
You really think you're going to beat that team paying your quarterback, who's not half of what he is, $6, $7 million more? No.
Yeah, no.
Just know where you're at. That's the biggest problem that NFL franchises make. You think you are something that you're not.
All right, picking at 19, where should the Bucs go in the draft?
The corner that falls to you. I don't care which one it is.
Cam Smith. I want Cam Smith.
I don't blame you for that. He fits your scheme the best. Joey Porter is the one that I think is going to be there.
I want him to, but I said Cam Smith because I think Joey's going earlier.
I don't. Joey's the one that's falling definitively right now.
Okay.
Because Christian Gonzalez and Devin Witherspoon have just clearly passed the rest of them. Now, could you have 5 in the top 20? Yes. That is a possibility. But we all know what Keely Ringo's going to do at the Combine. I know he's going to run a 4.4 or less. I'm already chalking that up, but the tape pushes him down. So whichever one falls to you, you're going to have to replace Jamil Dean.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We're in the midst of the never too early 2023 power rankings. Who's the team and how do you fix it? What's your get in the draft? What do you need to retain off your current roster? And who are you going to target in free agency to turn things around next year? We will continue after the SportsCenter update. When we come back for the break, Jeremy's bangers of the night. When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
Hey, Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
It's our President's Day special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Coffee's the closers on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
2 and 3 last night with the double play on the Knicks and the Nets. Would have been better, but who could possibly have expected two NBA teams to go 18 of 63 from three like the Pelicans and Thunder did? Light night on the hardwood, so we had to dig a little bit, but we still got some bangers. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Number 24 Providence is a 2-point dog tonight at home against number 18 Creighton. The Blue Jays are arguably the hottest team in the nation after a rocky start to the season, and tonight they head to the Pavilion to take on the Friars. In a vacuum, I'll tell you Creighton's the better team, but Providence is practically unbeatable at home. They play better defensively, and virtually every team that comes to town sees a big dip in every offensive metric. 13-0 at home on the season, and they've won 29 of their last 30, and I think that continues tonight. Not only do I get all of that, but I can get 2 points as well. Give me Providence plus the 2. I'd back them outright as a money line winner to slow down Creighton's hot start to 2023. To the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks are a 9-point favorite tonight at home against Boston. Usually this would be a game of the week candidate, but the Boston Celtics are absolutely killed. Take every name you know for the Celtics and assume they aren't playing. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, already out. Malcolm Brogdon and a slew of others are game-time decisions. This could be a lot of Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, and the newly acquired Mike Muscala. Oh, yeah, and did I mention they're playing the second-best team in the East at full strength, and the Bucks are at home. This is one of those tap before the tap games, and Boston won't even vaguely keep this competitive. Bucks by 1 million. And finally, the Sacramento Kings are a 2.5-point dog at the Phoenix Suns tonight, over under 233.5. The only way I can explain this is that Vegas is living by my mantra of wager on the games, but don't watch them. Phoenix made the all-in move to get Kevin Durant at the deadline, and that has left them painfully thin ahead of this matchup with the Kings tonight. For years, these two teams have been some of the most high-flying, high-scoring, and in some cases, flat-out bad defensive teams in the NBA. But that's not the case anymore. Over the last 10, these two are two of the slowest teams in the NBA. Neither one scores a ton of fast break points, and neither allows a lot of them. That tells me that this number is just flat-out wrong. This will be a half-court game. Hammer the under 233.5, and I'm taking the team that actually knows each other's names, Kings, in the money line. For more, follow us on all of the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, Greene on Greene is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mild numbers for Valentine's. Temperatures in the upper 40s tonight. 47 degrees in the valley. Cloudy on Wednesday. Close to 70 tomorrow. And then a Pacific front marches through the Carolinas Thursday. We could see some half-inch to 1-inch rains Thursday night, Friday morning. Highs Thursday in the 60s and turning cooler Friday with morning showers, high 52. Much colder Friday night, 23. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earn doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
The new Crispy Melt Taco is now at Taco Bell. It's a freshly fried shell with a melty cheese blend and your choice of seasoned beef or black beans inside. Try it today at participating Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Hey, it's Nate Burleson. Check out my new podcast, The Process with Nate Burleson. It debuts with my first guest, Rihanna. Her interview was just a taste of the heat we will bring you here on The Process. I'll talk to A-list celebrities, athletes, and visionaries about their process. What steps did they take to achieve greatness? New episodes of The Process with Nate Burleson drop all year long on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
From the Ingles studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting as expected, the Raiders released quarterback Derek Carr ahead of the deadline where $40 million of his contract's guaranteed. He's a free agent and can immediately sign anywhere. His best landing spot would be the Saints, believes ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
Dennis Allen was the head coach of the Raiders when he was drafted. They need a quarterback. I think they have some really good young talent with Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, amongst others, top 10 defense. So to me, that's really a good fit.
Mike Tannenbaum on Canty and Carlin. The final 2 NFL head coaching vacancies have been filled, both by Eagles assistants. Schefter also reports the Cardinals hired Philly defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon and gave him a 5-year contract. Eagles offensive coordinator Shane Steichen introduced today as the Colts' new coach. He brings quarterback expertise for a team that has long sought stability at the position. NBA add Jason Tatum to the long list of Celtics players out for tonight's marquee matchup against the Bucks. In addition to Tatum, Boston will be without Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart as well. The Celtics lead the Eastern Conference by a game and a half on the Bucks.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on your smartphone. Get us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/thesportsocracy. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat each and every day. You got to subscribe to the channel to get into the chat. That's how that works, how we try to keep the bots out and all of that. So do that.
We have the worst breaking news ever. Derek Carr's officially been released. Who'd have thunk it? Oh, us 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Derek Carr released before the guaranteed money, $40 million kicked in on his contract, the injury guarantee, and now he can sign with anybody.
And this is not going to happen quickly.
It's going to be a slow roll.
It's not going to happen quickly.
There are some prognosticators who think that the New Orleans Saints will sweep in and sign him immediately.
That won't happen.
I don't think that's how that's going to roll out because he is you just got to ask yourself, if you're Derek Carr, where would you rather go? Would you rather be in New Orleans or would you rather be in New York? Because there's a great possibility he could go to New York.
Well, with that all depends on Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But now that Todd Downing is the passing game coordinator for the Jets, that is something to.
But we all know the conversation with New York starts at Aaron Rodgers, and until they know something definitively.
And I'll be honest with you, I think the Aaron Rodgers thing happens quickly. I've heard this from multiple people in the last couple of days. This darkness retreat thing is wearing really thin with some decision makers.
Oh, really?
And I can't figure out who that is. I mean, there's only two teams that are legitimately in on Aaron Rodgers that I know of, and that's Vegas and the Jets. One of those two teams leaked that, all right, buddy, like, we like you and all, but maybe we move this along.
Yeah. You can't hold up the process here because we got decisions to make. Because the Jets don't want to end up, just left holding the bag when Derek Carr does up and sign with New Orleans on a whim, and then Aaron Rodgers says no, and now New York's standing here empty-handed going, what do we do, Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yeah, and what I've heard is that Derek Carr's not going to do anything until he knows where Aaron Rodgers is at.
That's kind of where I think this goes. And so everything is hinged
as long as that New York option is available, Derek Carr's old John Hancock is not going to be on anybody's official offer.
Yeah, everything hinges on old Aaron to decide what he's going to do after his darkness retreat. I love that that's getting under people's skin. That's quite funny to me.
I'm going to do some social media videos from my darkness retreat.
All right, we're going to kick this thing into high gear here. The 2023 Never Too Early Power Rankings on a Power Rankings Tuesday. The Texans, Bears, Cardinals, Colts, Saints, and the Bucks. Those are your 32 through 27 teams.
Bad and badder.
Yes, at number 26.
Third team from the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, what's your plan? What's your plan at quarterback?
I feel like Atlanta it's the widest range of outcomes I've ever seen. If Lamar were to hit the open market, they will do everything in their power to get him to sign.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen.
I don't think so.
There's no think so. It's not going to happen. They're not losing him for nothing. They will franchise him before that happens. I've heard this so many times that I have to give credence to it. If Lamar Jackson comes off the table somehow, they will make the run at Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
If that comes off the table, they'll settle for Desmond Ridder. That's like going, we could go to Ruth's Chris or Peter Luger's or Arby's.
Wow. I'm surprised you put Peter Luger's on Jalen Hurts there. Justin Fields, sorry.
Yeah, that was all right. I'm in a good mood.
Okay,
Vacation's coming 2 days from now, so I'm in a much better mood than I'm usually.
See, I was fully expecting that was going to be Ruth's Chris.
Ruth's Chris.
We could go to the gas
Subway,
station. The gas
station hot dogs.
That gas station in Arden that sells steaks on like $9.99 prime ribs on Tuesday nights. They're actually not bad. I'm just saying.
They're not cooked and they're already brown. That's a bad sign.
Right.
And
then
that steak
Waffle
doesn't
House.
look cooked. It's not. Oh.
I'm not trying to throw shade at the corner market.
I don't even know where you're talking about.
It's actually not bad.
The next time I see South Asheville will be the first time I've seen it in about 5 years. At this point, South Asheville is Narnia to me.
All right, so quarterback, obviously, if one becomes available.
I just don't see it. And for me, I want to double up on receivers. I want to take Quentin Johnston at 8.
Okay.
I want to sign Jacoby Myers because I have the second most money in the league.
Okay.
That gives me 3 formidable weapons on at receiver. My running game's already pretty stout. The line was really good last year. And I know that's going to sound weird because the defense is not good. Well, there's nothing you do to make the defense good. The best, and I'm going to say this backwards, the best offense is a good defense. No, the best defense is a good offense. And I like having all those weapons,
right?
No matter who the quarterback is. If it's Desmond Ridder, he's enough of a threat with his legs. And I can't get away from Jacoby Myers winding up with the Falcons.
Okay.
I don't know why. Mainly because I think he's going to be just aggressively overpaid, and there's only 2 teams that can pay him. The Bears don't make any sense.
Is there an impending free agent that they need to target?
Caleb McGarry.
Yes.
Caleb McGarry, get him back in the building right now.
Yep.
Now, I would be super sketch about that because he was an abject disaster until his future earnings depended on it.
Mm-hmm.
That always makes me nervous. But I would go 3 at 42 or something like that with escalators and incentives.
Yep.
Bring the line back and defensively. I mean, this is going to sound stupid, especially coming from me. Defensively, just keep doing what you did last year. Keep hitting doubles in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. Arnold Ebiketie, that was a solid double.
Mm-hmm.
Troy Anderson was not particularly good his rookie year. He's going to get better as time goes on. He was a running back 2 years ago.
Right.
Just keep doing that. You're never going to be great defensively, but you tell me I've got a track team with Kyle Pitts and Drake London and Quentin Johnston and Jacoby Myers. Okay. At the very least, I can outscore you because I'm in a division that could have Andrew Dalton, Kyle Trask, and Sam Darnold.
At number 25 for the never too early power rankings.
Never too early.
Never too early.
Never too early is our thing. You're giving credit.
Sorry.
The Las Vegas Raiders. I can't figure this team out to save my life.
It's hard to.
I cannot figure this team out to save my life.
I mean, the cutting of Derek Carr just baffles me.
The Las Vegas Raiders at this point are a 4 that think they're an 8. And everything you're doing is making me think this. And let me tell you a fun story. I have maybe 10 people in all of the draft industry whose opinions I really give credence to. Do you know how many of them have Anthony Richardson going 7 to the Las Vegas Raiders?
How many?
All of them. Which tells me I'm not the only one that's hearing what I keep hearing of that's going to happen. So for me, who do you draft? Anybody not named Anthony Richardson. I do not care who. I don't care if you take a kicker at 7. Do not do that. Because it doesn't make any sense. Josh McDaniels, all right, so let's say they gave him a vote of confidence. Do you think that means they're going to give him 3 years? Because that's what you're going to need with Anthony Richardson. He better be the safest coach in the NFL. Because if Anthony Richardson plays so much as a snap this year, you did it wrong. So for me, it's any quarterback but that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is nearly as interested in you as you are in him. If I'm the Raiders, I would personally I would love to be able to sit at 7 and get one of the other 3 quarterbacks. Whether it's Stroud, Levis, it's not going to be Bryce Young. The other 2, there's a possibility they fall. Teams that just don't think they're good, the Houston Texans, that's a team I've heard a lot. That they could just not take a quarterback.
And
roll with Davis Mills for a year, knowing we're going to be bad, and we'll get our franchise guy next year.
And I was going to say, and if one of the 3 doesn't fall,
then take Peter Skoronski and call Jimmy Garoppolo and sing him love songs or whatever it is you have to do, and then go out and sign Javon Hargrave because you actually have money. Javon Hargrave will make your 2 edge rushers exponentially better than they were this year. And Max Crosby was already good. Chandler Jones was a bit of a disappointment.
I like that. That's actually a path where they could climb up the power rankings.
No doubt.
At least 2 spots.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Javon Hargrave. Yeah, it's going to cost you probably $40 million this year. I don't care. If you think you're in win now, you're going to have to do things to show me that.
Okay. Number 24.
Oh, and their re-sign is Josh Jacobs. If you don't do that,
yeah.
if you don't do that, you may arguably be the dumbest franchise in the NFL.
But are you going to have to pay him $7 million?
I don't care. As long as it's under 10.
Okay.
Look, we've gotten to a dumb place with the running backs of where now people just treat them like they're kickers. Josh Jacobs is a elite running back in this league. If you can get him for $8, $9, $10 million, because that helps whatever quarterback you put in the system. And without him, you are in trouble.
Number 24.
The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, you're not going to have Aaron. I'm fully in the camp of this is no more with Aaron Rodgers.
I can't believe he comes back.
I think this is done.
And if he doesn't, that means – and look, I think it's the best case scenario. You get a first-round pick with the escalator on the second pick of what he does next year from the New York Jets. You get 13. You already have 15. You take Michael Mayer as the tight end because a bad quarterback's best friend is a safety blanket tight end. You've already got 2 running backs that are good. The line's not bad. It's just hard to trust David Bakhtiari at this point. Peter Skoronski, if he falls in your lap. I mean, his grandfather is a Hall of Famer for you. So,
right.
That does make all the sense in the world. And you lather up and you give Jordan Love the best chance to succeed that you can. There's one of 3 ways that can work. He's either way better than we think he is. I would put that at 5%. He is an absolute crash and burn, which I would say is probably 55%. And then there's 40 of he pulls a Daniel Jones, and you go, well, you're good enough to start, so we'll give you like a 3-year, $45 million deal. But I don't know that that's ever going to put you in a position to succeed. If you crash and burn, you get another shot at a franchise quarterback. And you could be the luckiest team in NFL history where you've had a franchise guy every year for 45 years. That is on the table with the one blip this year.
Okay.
A guy you have to bring back is Alan Lazard. I don't care who the quarterback is. You need a veteran in that room. And the what I can't get away from them signing, they don't sign a lot of people in free agency. Taylor Rapp, safety from the Rams. I think that ties a lot of that defense together.
Okay.
It took me longer to find one for Green Bay than it took me for just about anybody. But losing Adrian Amos, you bring in Taylor Rapp. He's got some familiarity with Joe Barry because they were with the Rams together. And it made sense. I mean, I didn't like jump up and down about it, but it made sense.
Okay. At number 23.
The Tennessee Titans. This is one of the hardest teams in the NFL to figure out because the roster's not bad.
No.
I just don't know what you're going to do at quarterback. You're going to cut Ryan Tannehill. There's no doubt about that. You're not paying him what he's owed. But their re-sign for me is Ryan Tannehill. You need to bring him back on a deal that's much more favorable for this team because you don't have any other options. Derek Carr is not looking at this team going, oh, hell, let me go throw to Robert Woods.
And Ryan Tannehill he's a guy that should be up for taking a pay cut.
No doubt. You're 34 years old. I don't know that you have another option.
Right. I don't think there's any other teams that are going to be beating down your door.
So you take $15 million from the Titans with the escalator and what they give you for cutting you, or you take nothing to play for. I can't find another team that would even be interested in
Tampa.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta is the only one. Maybe that's a complete fallback to replace Marcus Mariota as the veteran. But even then, I feel like you're tapping out on Desmond Ridder, which makes you look not super bright. But I do have a little bit of a thought with Tennessee. You take Peter Skoronski at 11.
Okay.
If he falls right in your lap, that's your Taylor Lewan replacement because he's basically already said, I'm going to be cut. So now you got a left tackle. The line's not terrible. You've got Chigakonkwo, who showed some things last year. You got Traylon Burks that plays on the outside. Why not go sign Michael Thomas on a one-year team-friendly deal? If he busts out, what do you care?
Yeah.
If you don't have a high-level weapon, you're going to be 6-11 or 7-10 or 8-9 anyway.
But is he a high-level
weapon
weapon
hits,
anymore?
But what if he does? What if it's the medical staff in New Orleans and you get it because it's going to be like a one-year prove-it deal that's $6 to $8 to $10 million? What if I'm right?
Yeah.
What if I'm right and he turns into Michael Thomas from 2 years ago? Is that a big ask? No doubt. If you're Tennessee, you're going to have to take flyers because you're not flush with cap space. Even cutting Ryan Tannehill and Taylor Lewan, you will be in better shape. But it's not like you're going to be a big spender out there putting heat on the Baltimore Ravens for a Lamar or anything like that. You're going to have to get cute. And I'm looking at that offense with that defense healthy. The defense is not bad. They were just killed. You had no Harold Landry. You had a lot of injuries in the secondary. All right, if the defense is healthy, you're the second best team in this division because the Colts are awful. And they're going to be breaking in a rookie quarterback. The Texans are an XFL team. I mean, you're still the 2. I'm not telling you that means you're going to make the playoffs, but you could at least threaten the Jaguars.
Yeah, you're in a shot. You have a shot.
Because when this goes sideways, you talking about blowing up Tampa Bay? Ooh. You'll have to blow up Tennessee with 4,000 pounds of dynamite. You'll have to tap out on everything because every high-level player on this team is 29 years old or older. Now, I mean, you can put Traylon Burks in that, but it wasn't consistent. I didn't see it enough to feel great about it yet.
Right.
The 5 best players on this team are all 29 or older. That's a really bad sign for an NFL team.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville in the middle of the never too early NFL Power Rankings for 2023. We'll be back with number 21 next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between New Stock Road and Elk Mountain Road. 26 westbound light delays between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. An accident Long Shoals Road westbound at I-26 has the ramp lane narrowed. Merriman Avenue southbound is crawling between North Merriman Avenue and W.T. Weaver Boulevard. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road southbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. 2 for $6, the best deal in fast food. When you want the best deal on the best meal, choose Wendy's 2 for $6. Pick from Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece Crispy Nugs, or a medium strawberry lemonade. Pair any 2 for just $6. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6.
No one has the same taste as you.
You damn right.
From the music you love to the podcasts you can't live without. And only the iHeartRadio app has it all for free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Hey, Dak Prescott here. Why do I choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because better sleep elevates my game. Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps me fall asleep faster, keeps me cool, and effortlessly adjusts for my best sleep. That's more focus, more edge, and more highlights. And that means more wins for all of us.
It's our President's Day special. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right?
85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers.
The real deal. Try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Make 2023 the year that you change your life and you win that battle with your weight problem. It can happen for you. I mean, I've said this time and time again in my life. I'm going to do better this year. I'm going to lose the weight. 2022, that was the year for me. The PhD weight loss program helped me lose more than 90 pounds last year. PhD's the way to go.
Many people in the new year say, new year, new me. The only problem is that they use a lot of the same tendencies, which leads to new year, same you. Sometimes you need a little help, and that's what PhD gives you. They give you plenty of the food. They give you all the direction, all the guidance. If it works for a guy like me that was as lazy with my food choices as I was, it will work for you. PhD weight loss.
I lived all of my adult life around the 300-pound mark, and now I'm down around 200 pounds, and I feel infinitely better, as you can imagine. Go to myphdweightloss.com today. It's myphdweightloss.com.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Never too early power rankings on a Power Ranking Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. You said earlier, Jeremy, this is the last power rankings for the year in the NFL, right? I mean, we got other power rankings that we could do on Tuesdays. Open for suggestions in the chat on YouTube. Go to sportsocracy.com.
I got news for you. Once the draft goes away, it's become a, hey, did you see the new Yellowstone? It was awesome.
Click on that live.
I tried to watch an NBA game last night, and I swear to you, blood came out of my ears.
That's not good.
Pelicans and Thunder.
Probably see a doctor.
Pelicans Thunder. 18 of 63 from three. And when neither one of those teams can play dead in the Western on defense. So it was wide open threes. Just a big old brick festival. Awful. Just turn on your bathtub and watch the water run. It's way more enjoyable.
That's why we watched the latest episode of 1923 last night.
Haven't started it yet, but I'm almost caught up on Yellowstone.
So good. It is so good. I love Harrison Ford. Anyway, back to the never too early power rankings here for 2023 in the NFL at number 21. 22? Okay.
The Washington Commanders. I like Sam Howell so much. I do. I know everybody's, well, they got to go get a quarterback. Do they, though? Do they, though? I don't think they do.
Have we heard anything on the Eric Bieniemy signing?
They interviewed Greg Roman today.
I don't know. I wouldn't do that.
No, I'm good there. Eric Bieniemy or would do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't hire Greg Roman.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy. I think that needs to be the thing that the Washington Commanders do. Turn that offense over to Eric Bieniemy, see what he can do, call in the shots.
I agree. Their re-sign is Daron Payne. When you have there are 5 really high-level players on the market, re-sign them because you're not going to spend your money in wiser places, I promise you. I can't get away from them drafting Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback out of Oregon, and I know they like him.
Okay.
I feel like that is – you're halfway there to fixing that secondary, and the other half is to go get Jesse Bates. I can't see how Cincinnati's going to re-sign him.
Mm-hmm.
They have other needs. You're getting ready to have to pay Burrow. He was good, but not great.
Right.
And does that not feel like a Washington move?
Yes.
They swing in and sign Jesse Bates and make him the highest paid safety in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Because their secondary is awful.
Well, didn't they turn back the clock with Landon Collins or something this year?
Yeah. A lot of it's not great.
Right. So,
but
yeah,
to me,
okay.
I mean, you add those two pieces, now the secondary's better. I feel like that's going to make the defense better on the whole. And it gives – I feel like a lot of the pieces for Washington are in place. I mean, yeah, you're going to need a lineman or two to protect Sam Howell.
Absolutely.
But the biggest thing for Sam is going to be not having to score 27 points a week. So, and you're in a division with A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb and whatever the Giants are about to do. I have a funny feeling it's going to be a high-level receiver somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Jesse Bates would be a heck of a get for the Commies. Number 21.
Still irks me that you called them that. Commandos would make way more sense.
That's why I keep calling them that.
21 is the New England Patriots. Hey, we got Bill O'Brien.
Hey, Bob's back in town, and the offense is just going to be clicking, right?
It can't hurt. Here's the problem. Look around that conference and tell me who you're better than.
None of them.
Are you better than Miami?
No.
Are you better than Buffalo?
No.
Are you better than the Jets?
No.
And I'm saying that before I even know what they do at quarterback because I don't really care. I feel like New England is, and they have money. All right, so what is the one thing you look at and go, oh, yeah, that makes them better? They were a hard one to find a player to bring in, but I did find one.
Okay.
Draymond Jones, defensive tackle from the Broncos. It's another pass rusher. It's actually an interior pass rusher, him and Barmore together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That frees up Matthew Judon to see less double teams. I feel like you're going to have to add another guy somewhere. The
wide
reason,
receiver.
Well, that was the draft and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay.
Once I saw that, now I can't unsee it.
But why?
With Jigba?
Yeah.
Because he can play on the outside.
Okay.
He can play anywhere, frankly. And I just feel like Bill O'Brien is going to pound the table for him.
Mm-hmm.
Him being in college, because look, the scouting report on Ohio State now for 2 years has been, I don't care how good your secondary is, you ain't stopping them both. And I feel like even when he drops, Bill's going to be the one going, give him to me.
Mm-hmm.
Give him to me. I'm stuck with Mac. I like Mac. Not jumping up and down about it, but I feel like that's how that would go. And the one you have to re-sign is Jonathan Jones.
Yes.
If you take him out of that secondary, I like Jack Jones too. He's Whittle.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets very Jalen Millsy in a hurry.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones is the key free agent that they have to keep in the building, and I don't hate that going after a weapon in the first round. One of the mocks that I saw that I really, really liked was Brian Branch going to New England. He just kind of strikes me as a Bill kind of player.
He is. I just feel like it's early.
And there's the Alabama connection, of course.
Well, yeah, and that's everybody tries to shoehorn Alabama players into doing. I get it; it's happened a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go that high.
Yeah,
there's so many safeties.
Well, we also said you shouldn't go that high on
Cole Strange.
Yeah, Cole Strange. Well, they drafted in the first round last year. So
and he was fine.
So what 5th round weapon will they draft this time?
And he was fine.
You're in the
shouldn't have taken him that high, but he was fine.
Right. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. And you know what? Let's get weird. And then we'll hit the hometown team. Coming up at number 20, the Carolina Panthers.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, I told you baseball's on my mind today, and after I saw this remark, I just couldn't let it go. So today was the first day of spring training. Alex Cora is down in Fort Myers getting the pitchers and catchers ready for the Boston Red Sox.
I was about to say, for the 97% of you who have absolutely no idea who Alex Cora is, he's the manager of the Boston Red Sox.
I'm gonna explain it. But they were asking him in the press conference today about the new rules, the new baseball rules that are coming into play this year. They're using the pitch clock, which is going to be great to help speed up the game. They've got the extra innings rule. That was all over the SportsCenter updates yesterday. But there's one change this year that's different. As it might look a little weird the first time you see a baseball game this season. The bases are bigger. So they've made the bases bigger to cut down on injuries, on player safety issues. Now the first baseman doesn't have to be right in the base path to get his foot on the bag and possibly be trampled. and suffer some kind of an injury. And Alex Cora said, just wait till you see the bases because they look like pizza boxes. Hot. It's going to be awesome. They've cut down 4 inches on the base pads.
Have they put the trap door in the outfield yet?
Not yet.
No, because
Not yet. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, maybe this is the path. Maybe we need to do some rock and jock type stuff. Get the juices flowing for baseball again.
Baseball could hand out hundies at the opening gates, and you'd still have 400 people at a lot of these games. Speaking of things that nobody asked for, it's back. The Love Castle is back.
The Love Castle?
I had a feeling you wouldn't know what that was because I didn't until this morning. Love Castle is what White Castle calls itself on Valentine's Day. And do you know why?
No.
Because at 4 o'clock, 30 minutes ago, every participating location across the country, which is apparently a lot of them, of the White Castle burger chain, turns into a sit-down restaurant. They break out white tablecloths and decorations and all kinds of things at White Castle. Okay, A, this is absolutely hilarious to me. B, if this is your plan, you probably done did it wrong.
Oh, 100%.
Because, I mean, I know my wife, and she is super patient, super wonderful woman. I mean, obviously she deals with me. If I said, you know what we're going to do? First of all, if I looked at her and said, we're going to the Love Castle, she'd roll her eyes and go, all right, how's this going to end? Because I have a feeling there's a joke coming here. So if you do decide to take them up on this offer, they have something called the Love Cube. Hear me out. 8 cheeseburger sliders, 2 shareable sides, 2 small soft drinks. Let's go. That's value.
Yeah.
That's value right there.
Yeah.
They also have the strawberry swirl cheesesteak on a stick. Or cheesecake on a stick. Cheesesteak on a stick would be a very different dessert delicacy. And the Sprite Love Castle potion to wash it all down.
Uh-huh.
This is one of those marketing ideas. I mean, this is coming from a marketing guy. You need a marketing guy to raise his hand and go, we all get this is stupid, right? Hey, everybody, we're all on board. This is just dumb, and nobody's okay. Just making sure.
Hey, if people are gonna make an effort to go to the Love Castle, then I'm gonna provide that service to you.
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna go to the Love Castle. I just don't think it's gonna be the White Castle.
The Love Castle is where you go to serve divorce papers on Valentine's Day.
I now want nothing more than a sign with my face on it that hangs over my front door that says, welcome to the Love Castle.
I'm your Huckleberry.
We have one of these from Gage Camplin who asked, odds Rogers stays or signs with the New York Jets. For me, it's 60-40.
To the Jets?
60 to the Jets, 40 that he retires.
Okay.
I cannot find a way he goes back to Green Bay.
Really?
I cannot see it.
I mean, I think there's always a path that he goes back. I would put that at like 20%.
I can't see it.
I'm on 70% Jets, 10% Vegas, 20% he goes back.
There is zero chance he goes to
Green
Las
Bay.
Vegas. You take out Devontae Adams, you can physically not give me a reason that he would go to that dumpster fire franchise. Just straight up. And those aren't my words. That's what I'm told about Vegas. Like, we're actively mocking them in meetings about this Derek Carr thing because they actually thought somebody was going to give them a draft pick, and he was just going to go, oh, okay, not, well, I saved you a third-round pick by making them cut me, so, hey, how about you give me that money too?
Right.
That's how stupid the brain trust of this front office is because they never even considered that he would just go, checkmate. What are you going to do now? Oh, nothing, and I'm going to get my way.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comments seem to be commenting about White Castle.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say White Castle wasn't good. I don't think it. I mean, it's not good to me.
I've never eaten there, so I don't know.
In your life?
No.
I've
never been
it's
to a
fine.
White Castle.
It's fine.
That's a Yankee thing, right?
No, we had one here forever.
Really?
It was off Biltmore Avenue.
No.
100% we did. We had
there
a
was
White
a
Castle here.
Crystal.
Oh, no,
There was a
that might be
Crystal.
what
There
I'm thinking
wasn't
of.
a White Castle.
To me, it's the same place.
It's not the same place.
It's little tiny burgers. You have to order 5,000 of them. They come in the little stupid cup.
Yeah, see, we had the Crystal. We did not have the White
It's
Castle.
the same thing, okay? It's Pepsi, Coke, just, okay? Actually, that's not even true because one of them's way better than the other.
Right. Yeah, no, never done the White Castle thing. Not sure. I think I've had their, like the frozen burgers that you could buy in the
Sacred Time. Tastes the exact same.
Ingles supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. They're in the freezer section. But I've never had it in a restaurant.
Jekyll said he's had it frozen and not a fan. Never had one from an actual location. Well, if you've had it frozen, you've had it from an actual location. Because I'm actually pretty sure they just take them out of the frozen box and drop them into.
They possibly do.
There's your sweet, custom-made little slutty sandwich.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Never too early. Power rankings for 2023 continue next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wild numbers for Valentine's. Temperatures in the upper 40s tonight. 47 degrees in the valley. Cloudy on Wednesday. Close to 70 tomorrow. And then a Pacific front marches through the Carolinas Thursday. We could see some half-inch to 1-inch rains Thursday night, Friday morning. Highs Thursday in the 60s and turning cooler Friday with morning showers, high 52. Much colder Friday night, 23. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slowing, approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road southbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound again slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Peel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is Valentine's Day, gents. Don't forget your spouse, your significant other. Do something special for them. Like I said, even if it's just stopping by the Ingles on the way home.
I hope it's better than
flowers.
I hope it's better than going to the Love Castle.
Yeah. Look,
I mean, you can use that term. I wouldn't let the destination be a White Castle.
Yeah, don't take her to the White Castle.
Because frankly, no good is going to come from what I was getting ready to say. That is the first time I have ever called myself from saying something.
Right. Lots of chat going on in the YouTube chat right now about the White Castle versus the Crystal.
It's the same place. They have a different logo. It's the same thing.
I love Crystal. I love the Crystal Chicks. The little chicken sandwiches that they have are amazing.
Yeah.
It's like teeny tiny Chick-fil-A. It's so good.
Don't ever say that again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a little tiny Chick-fil-A. That's like if Chick-fil-A went bankrupt and only used the scrapings of chicken they found on the bottom of a fryer, would be.
When was the last time you had a Crystal Chick?
Oh, good.
See,
it's not like it's
that's what
changed.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like they changed. It's the same chicken they killed in 1994. So
No. Crystal's good. It's just, it's nothing to write home about like everybody. It seems to be the ongoing thing in the chat of Crystal's fine, White Castle's fine. They're not the greatest of all time by any means.
Oh, if I was starving to death, I would consider it. I ain't going out of my way for it.
That is what a lie sounds like, ladies and gentlemen. You are in the Sportsocracy.
Traveled all over the country. Could count on one hand the number of times I've eaten it both combined.
It is never too early. Power ranking time for 2023. We continue here with the hometown team at number 20. The Carolina Panthers at 20. This coaching staff
is real good.
Let's tip of the cap because I fully believe. I don't know who's all making the calls. I'm sure, David Tepper and Scott Fitterer are in a room together, and they're going, the one thing that we're not going to do this upcoming season is get out-coached.
Yes. Adding Jim Caldwell, that's a big deal.
Yeah, Jim Caldwell.
Because trust me, a lot of teams tried to
Frank Reich, Ajira Avero. This is a hell of a staff that they're putting together. Deuce Staley.
And for me, obviously, it all comes back to the quarterback. I feel like it's one of two. It's either C.J. Stroud or it's Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me that I could have those two, I will give you the field. Because I'm not sure Derek Carr's not going to look at this and go, why would I not go to Carolina? I know they're going to offer him. There's no doubt they're going to try to bring him into the building, and I can either be coached by Frank Reich or Dennis Allen. To me, Carolina's almost as attractive as the Jets are. Because I don't have to deal with that media market.
Yeah.
I do not have to, and because it's not great. There's a reason that New York has churned and burned quarterbacks the way they have. So I have them drafting C.J. Stroud. The re-sign is Bradley Bozeman. I want to keep as much of that line together as humanly possible. I know he wasn't great, but I still think he's a good value.
Mm-hmm.
And the more reps you get with the line in place, the better. And then I got to the free agent. About old Mike Gesicki from the Miami Dolphins. He's not going back to Miami.
That. We need a tight end. You ain't had one since Greg Olsen.
And think about all the ones that Frank Reich's used over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got news for you. Zach Ertz couldn't block me. Frank Reich found a way to make it work, and I think he would do it with Mike Gesicki too.
Is that going to cost you $10 million?
Probably. It's probably about that much.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that.
I'm 100% in for that.
I feel like you're going to get him at a slight value because he was so bad in Miami last year.
See, that's what I was thinking. So maybe you get him more closer to 7 or 8?
That's not going to happen.
No?
No. Look, this is a horrendously bad free agent class. Now, and I know people will be cut. There will be some guys that are cut, but even then, it's never the creme de la creme that gets cut. It's like that second tier of free agent that's cut.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say it's probably $10 million.
Okay.
And I think that would be a great way to start. Now you've got two really nice weapons, especially if it's a rookie, because you got a tight end that's a nice safety blanket and a slot receiver in DJ Moore that's a nice safety blanket. So.
Okay. And who are you keeping in the building, Sam?
Bradley Bozeman.
Bradley Bozeman. All right. Number 19.
Hit the wrong button. The Denver Broncos.
I expected them to be lower on this list, and I'm sure they were lower on this list
They were before Sean Payton showed up.
Sean Payton, that's right.
If you tell me there is a way to get anything out of Russell Wilson, it is Sean Payton doing it. Their draft was kind of hard because they don't pick until like 90. So I went Wanya Morris because you need something on that offensive line, which is also why Dalton Risner, you're going to have to keep him in the building.
Mm-hmm.
That line's not good. And the thing with Denver is that you're going to have to go value hunting because you're not in the greatest cap shape. You got a lot of guys that are – I shouldn't say a lot of guys. You have a lot of players, not necessarily a lot of super impactful, but it's a lot of depth. I mean, you're killed draft capital-wise because you gave up so much to get Russell Wilson, which is why the guy I would be bringing in would be David Onyemata from New Orleans. The PED suspension is going to make him a little bit cheaper. He's obviously familiar with Sean Payton, familiar probably with how that scheme's going to look. I don't know who the defensive coordinator is yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be Vic Fangio. He finally did go, hey, I'm going to Miami, after I tried my best to go anywhere else. I don't think Denver, that feels like the perfect number to me. And I know you said they should be lower. Who have I put behind them that you go, all right?
There's not one. I had no problems with it.
I originally had Denver in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I did this, I went, no, that roster's better.
Yes.
And that roster's better. And I did that 5 or 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I got them to right here at 19, and that's about where they fit to me.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect scenario.
Because I think you're either the first team in the play or the last team in the playoffs or the first team out.
Mm-hmm.
And that all depends on how much does Sean Payton get out of Russell Wilson.
All right, at number 18.
The Los Angeles Rams.
It's wild that
Doesn't that feel high?
Yeah, I mean, does it though?
It didn't for me.
Does it feel high? Because this is a team that, yes, they were awful this past year, but we didn't see that coming. Nobody expected the collapse that was the Los Angeles Rams 2022 season. It just wasn't ever in the cards. Now you've got that top-heavy offense, or that top-heavy stars on the defense and the offense coming back. You still have Sean McVay making the calls. I feel like this is a team that's on the bounce back here and probably should be right here, or if not a little higher, into the top 16.
Yeah, you'll very quickly figure out why they're not any higher. I feel like this is a team that has to go all in. I mean, because you're going to age like cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have – there's nothing behind Stafford. We saw that last year. There's nothing really behind Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson. We saw that last year. The line's thin. We saw that. I could keep doing this, but you get the point.
Right.
But if you're all healthy, this is one of the 10 best rosters in the league, especially on the high side. So to me, this is the team that needs to be restructuring everything, going, all right, 2 years from now, we are going to be terrible. But we could find a way to make one more run. Philadelphia's quarterback's getting ready to be more expensive. San Francisco's going to lose a lot. Are we that far behind them? No, not necessarily. But it requires a lot of good fortune health-wise. Their first pick's not until early in the second round, and I can't get away from this guy because it feels like what the Rams should do. Just catch the guy that falls, and it's going to be Isaiah Foskey.
Okay.
They needed a pass rusher last year, and it showed. They missed Von Miller exponentially more than I thought they would.
Yes.
The big knock on Foskey is he's thin. And the motor's inconsistent. Okay, well, you're a situational pass rusher for me. I bring you in on third down. You play 25 to 30 snaps. See ball, get ball. That's all I need you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to hold it against the run. I don't care if you're not good at that. Go get a quarterback. And bring back Taylor Rapp. And then, I saw it. I kept seeing him on the PFF list as I was going down. Call Odell Beckham Jr. and just go, which would you rather do? Do you want to be thrown to by Dak Prescott or Matthew Stafford? Which one sounds more palatable to you?
Mm-hmm.
You've been that receiver one time in the last, 4 years, 5 years?
And it was with me.
with us.
Right.
You love Sean McVay. We know you love Sean McVay. Stop the flirtation with Dallas. You couldn't get it done last year, and there's a reason for that. Jerry Jones is a crazy person, and now you got Mike McCarthy calling plays. But you come on home.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. We'll get to number 17 in the never too early power rankings for 2023 next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
240 westbound near I-26 mile marker 3, an accident. Left center lane is closed. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 westbound delays between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue southbound is stop and go between the Beaver Lake area and W.T. Weaver Boulevard. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Again, Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go approaching Fanning Bridge Road in the Fletcher area. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, drop what you're doing and clear your schedules. I heard Kohl's added thousands of new markdowns to clearance. And when I went, I saved up to 70% on so much cool stuff. Like cute home essentials, jeans for my whole fam, a cozy sweater for myself, a pair of boots for my husband, and more. So yeah, don't miss out. Get to Kohl's and thank me later. Select styles up to 70% offer ends February 20th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Hey, it's Nate Burleson. Check out my new podcast, The Process with Nate Burleson. It debuts with my first guest, Rihanna. Her interview was just a taste of the heat we will bring you here on The Process. I'll talk to A-list celebrities, athletes, and visionaries about their process. What steps did they take to achieve greatness? New episodes of The Process with Nate Burleson drop all year long on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
We are back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville with the Never Too Early 2023 NFL Power Rankings here on Power Rankings Tuesday, number 17.
The Seattle Seahawks.
All right, so the Geno Smith thing was, the comeback player of the year and all that was a great story.
Oh, it's great.
What are you going to do next year?
You're going to pay him way too much money. That's how this is going to go. I mean, what PFF has that deal at $150 million for 4 years.
For 4 years?
Not 5, for 4 years.
Wow.
That is insane to me.
I would not do that. But Pete Carroll's smarter than I am, so.
No doubt. I mean, and he fits the system. He's the player that I think you have to re-sign because I do feel like you're in a bit of a window. You do have a high-end pick. The only bad thing is, and I think it was Divine Comedy that said this, it is a Seahawks fan, this is a horrible year to be at 5. Man, I wish we were at 4 because then I feel like we would get either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. You're absolutely right. Because the drop-off to Tyree Wilson, it's not that significant on the high side. He could be that good. His bust rate is about 4 times what the other twos are. And that's who I have you drafting if you stay there. I don't know how likely that is. No team in the NFL trades down more than Seattle, and I could see them being the spot that a team goes up to get a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then the player I had them bringing in was Isaac Seumalo from Philadelphia.
Okay.
They're going to lose something off that line.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to realize Philadelphia drafted Cam Jurgens last year. There's a lot of malleable pieces. I don't see you paying that.
Number 16.
Whoop, wrong button. Pittsburgh Steelers. Should probably just get the list out so I don't have to hit the button.
Yeah, this was my official last year. This was my official last year of doubting Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, very well should be. I mean, look, this team is, when they're healthy, they're talented. The big thing is you got to redo the offensive line, which is why I have them taking Broderick Jones at 17.
Makes sense.
He's an immediate plug-and-play that allows you to slide Dan Moore in. You have that pick that you got from Chicago for Chase Claypool. Wouldn't be shocked if that was another offensive lineman. You bring back Cameron Sutton, and then you make an aggressive run at Levante David. He fits that scheme nicely.
Okay.
You give me 2 edge rushers and just allow him to be rangy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I could. Because, look, the Miles Jack thing didn't work particularly well.
Right.
You've had a lot of churn at middle linebacker, and most of it's not been particularly good. So why not give a guy a shot at – I thought about a lot of teams with him, but Pittsburgh's the only one that really makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Number 15.
The Cleveland Browns.
Will the Deshaun Watson deal pay off? Or will you see more of the grossness that was the quarterback play at the end of this past season?
There's probably no team in the NFL that's more volatile than Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it works with Deshaun Watson, you should be in the top 10. Because he's a top 10 quarterback in this league. This is a top 10 talented roster.
Yes.
I can't put you there yet, but there are things you can do. Their first pick's not until the middle of the second round. I have them taking Mozzie Smith out of Michigan, and I can't get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing people put him in the 20s. He ain't going that high because he is very specific to what he does. He's a 330-pound defensive tackle. He needs to go somewhere like Cleveland. Bring back Ethan Posich, the center, and then go get David Long from the Tennessee Titans. I think that ties that defense together. You put him next to Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Okay.
And he's really familiar with Jim Schwartz because that's where he's been for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. It's a very pivotal year for the Cleveland Browns. You want to know that the gamble paid off.
Well, I mean, this is another team that has to go all in.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nowhere for you to go. I mean, there's no, we're building the team. No. You went all in. This is like somebody going all in after 3 cards in poker. And I don't really care what the 4th card is. You're here.
Right. Now it's time to go. Now it's time to push the chips to the middle of the table. You got Nick Chubb. You got Amari Cooper. You got Deshaun Watson. This is your core. Let's move on. Build the pieces around it. Hopefully you can play some good defense and then be done. And then number 14.
This is why I can't have Cleveland any higher. The Minnesota Vikings. I mean, I feel like they're going to regress because you can't win that many close games again.
Agreed.
But you're going to have to build the defense. I considered the re-sign being Patrick Peterson, but, I mean, he wasn't great. And I feel like Garrett Bradbury gets a lot of shade, and I don't know why. He's been good, and he's gotten better pretty much every year.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep that line as intact as humanly possible. Draft Cam Smith, the corner that you're in love with out of South Carolina, because I think he's going to fall a little bit more than – and oddly enough, because he doesn't do any one thing specifically well. And then make a run at Denzel Perriman from the Las Vegas Raiders because you need a rangy linebacker real bad.
The Sports Center update is coming up next. We will continue with the top 13 of the 2023 Never Too Early Power Rankings next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wild numbers for Valentine's. Temperatures in the upper 40s tonight. 47 degrees in the valley. Cloudy on Wednesday. Close to 70 tomorrow. And then a Pacific front marches through the Carolinas Thursday. We could see some half-inch to 1-inch rains Thursday night, Friday morning. Highs Thursday in the 60s and turning cooler Friday with morning showers, high 52. Much colder Friday night, 23. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services of Asheville.
First Restoration Services has been responding 24/7 to property damage from water, fire, and storm damage since 1987. If you have a disaster on your property, there's only one company to call first. First Restoration Services of Asheville, 684-1582.
Right now during Staples Sit-a-thon, select chairs are up to 50% off, like the Union and Scale Essentials Mesh Back Task Chair, now just $89.99 at Staples. In-store only, offer ends 2/18 while supplies last. Staples, the working and learning and savings store.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
From the Ingles studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. The first quarterback domino has fallen this NFL offseason. As expected, the Raiders released Derek Carr ahead of when more than $40 million in his contract would have been guaranteed. Carr, now free to sign anywhere, he'd certainly be an upgrade for several NFL teams, notes Fitz and Harry co-host Harry Douglas.
He is a franchise guy, and we do have other franchises out there that would die for a guy like Dexter. You look at teams like the Jets, who, the quarterback position were their Achilles heel last season. They would love to have a guy of his caliber on their roster right now.
The Cardinals hired Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon as their new head coach. He gets a 5-year contract. Also leaving Philadelphia, offensive coordinator Shane Steichen introduced today as the Colts' new head coach. Another Celtics player out of tonight's NBA showdown in Milwaukee. Jason Tatum won't play. Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart were previously ruled out by Boston. Bucks trail the East-leading Celtics by a game and a half. NHL, Alex Ovechkin will be away from the Capitals for family reasons for at least the rest of this week and possibly longer.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy inside the Ingles studio, as we are always when we are live here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Also seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and the best comments always get highlighted. And definitely, if you're going to give money and super chat,
I'm your huckleberry.
then we're going to highlight your comment as well. Gage Camplin asks, do you think that Watson turns it around? So we were talking about the Cleveland Browns right before the Sports Center update. They were number 15 on our 2023 never too early power rankings. The Cleveland Browns obviously hinge on the success of this big deal that they swung with the Houston Texans.
Well, and being the ability to be in camp and not have all the limitations and just quiet. Look, I'm not making a judgment on Deshaun Watson as a person. I don't know him. And we obviously know all the stories about him.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of noise around him for a lot of years now. And so to have one off season where it's just quiet, I'm not in the news. I'm not having to do press conferences. I would say I can't tell you that it ever gets back to what he was when they were just destroying Kansas City in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you that guy ever comes back. But if he's 80% of that, he's still a top 10 quarterback in the league.
I think the potential is there for that guy to return. And I feel like this team is built with enough weapons around him to make him that guy. Is Amari Cooper DeAndre Hopkins? No.
No, but Amari Cooper can be a one in this league.
And Nick Chubb.
And you need a legitimate two and the running game and all the other things. I could argue this is going to be one of the toughest jobs in the NFL for Andrew Berry this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it right, you could be one of those teams that we look at and go, yeah, we should have seen that coming.
Yeah. All right, let's continue here. Never too early power rankings. Weird that we ended up at number 13.
And we did this on purpose because this hour is dedicated to these are the legit, honest contenders depending on how this offseason goes.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel real good because number 13 is my New York Jets.
Now, I did have to ask the guy who's got 13s tattooed all over his body if he purposefully made his team 13 for some kind of superstitious reason here.
No, it just worked out that way.
It just worked out that way. The Jets, if they get Aaron Rodgers, are an immediate Super Bowl contender, in my opinion.
With Aaron Rodgers, you're 5.
Okay.
With Aaron Rodgers, you're 5.
I hadn't really
because
thought
you also
about
have
it,
to realize how
okay.
much money this team's going to save by cutting Carl Lawson. And I can't tell you they're going to cut C.J. Mosley. They might restructure that.
Okay.
Extend him to try to push it down because he's like $25 million against cap this year. That's not going to happen. This is a pretty complete team. And so trade your number one pick for Aaron Rodgers. Do it right now. Don't ask questions. As soon as he comes back from his ayahuasca tea event, Green Bay. All right, let's quit playing around. All right, go straight love castle here. Just we'll lay out the love cube. We'll just chat, have some sliders, and we'll make this work.
Hopefully your offensive line can stay healthy. Do you tweak that in the offseason at all, or do you roll it back?
Like you have to. But one of the things you learned last year is that Elijah Farrah-Tucker can play left tackle too.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case and you move Becton to the right, I'm not even 100% sure you don't move Becton to guard because he is big and mobile. He's just hurt all the time. He's played 8 plays in 2 years, and I was in the building for all of them because I'm a cursed Jets fan. But what happens if let's say Mekhi Becton is healthy? Okay, that line's pretty good now.
Mm-hmm.
That line's pretty good now. I do feel like you're going to have to invest in that, but the big thing is don't overpay for Aaron Rodgers because you're really bidding against yourself. I mean, will it cost you 13? Yes, it'll cost you 13 in one of the thinnest drafts I've ever seen. Whoopee-woo. Conditional 3 next year. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those times that just makes entirely too much sense because Aaron Rodgers, you're not winning a Super Bowl in Green Bay. You're not. Sorry, Packer fans. You're not better than Philadelphia. You're not going to be. You're not better than San Francisco. You're not going to be. You're just at that point. And so you roll it with Jordan Love, and the Jets have the incentive to give you the capital for your next run, no matter who the quarterback is. The big re-sign for me is Sheldon Rankins because that defense was way better with him on the field than without him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make a run at Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward knows this system, knows Robert Saleh.
Wow.
They put him in at slot corner. He's not a slot corner, but he can do it.
Right.
He's a movable piece.
That'd be terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Well, I mean, you need a safety badly because LaMarcus Joyner is bad, but bad.
Mm-hmm.
I love him to death, Florida State guy. Got his jersey back there in my office. And that day has come and gone.
We like to use the term conditional in the NFL, so this is a conditional 13th ranking for the New York Jets.
They're 13 for me, and I don't care who the quarterback is. Because I can tell he's not going to be Zach Wilson.
That's why I'm saying if they get Aaron Rodgers, this ranking changes.
Oh, no doubt. I would say you're 5 or 6 with Aaron Rodgers. I'd say you're 8 or 9 with Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably 10 or 11 with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, you're definitely with any of those quarterbacks. I believe that you're ahead of the team that comes in at number 12.
The New York Giants.
Yeah, the other team from New Jersey. As the Giants roll on here with Daniel Jones.
And that's what you have to do. I think it's going to come at more of a value than people think. I mean, I could see a path that Daniel Jones just goes, all right, let's go 60 for 3 years. Maybe some incentives that could push it to 75.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that market's not out there with anybody else. Daniel Jones is a bright kid. And from everything I've been told, he's pretty realistic about this of, hey, if it wasn't for Brian Daboll, I might be working at Home Depot. So loyalty. Their big re-signs are obviously Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
I know it looks weird for them to draft a tight end, but they took one last year. Yeah, Dalton Kincaid's way better. And I'm not so sure that you have to just go all in on receivers. That hasn't gone particularly well for this team. You get Wan'Dale Robinson back next year. You get Sterling Shepard back if he's on the roster. I mean, you still got Isaiah Hodgins and Richie James, who, frankly, were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to add another weapon? Yes. Am I going to shoehorn myself into In my last mock, there were 4 receivers that went before the Giants. Am I going to take a second-round talent just because of that? No. I'm going to go take the second-best tight end in the draft.
Right.
I'm going to go take a special tight end talent and give Daniel Jones another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I think the line is fine.
So if the
I want you to think about the progression of Andrew Thomas. He was a disaster as a rookie. He's pretty good his second year. He was special his third year.
Would you go back-to-back with a tight end and then a wide receiver first and second round?
I did in the 2-round mock draft. I went Dalton Kincaid, and then I went Jaden Reed, the kid from Michigan State.
Okay.
He strikes me as a Giants kind of guy. You're not going to get the true, no doubt, number one. There's just not one of those out there. Quentin Johnston's the closest you're going to come.
Mm-hmm.
And some people like him, some people don't. And he's not going to be there at 24, wherever they pick.
What about Josh? Josh Downs from North Carolina.
He's a slot guy. I mean, how many slot receivers do you need? I mean, this is the slottiest team in the NFL. Much like me. Sorry. I mean, you got 5 slot receivers.
Okay.
That may add you. Let's go. You know what? Let's get another one that can't play on the outside.
So he won't be an outside receiver in the NFL?
No, he's a slot guy in the NFL. I have Josh Downs in the top of the second round. He gets into that. I can't remember who I had him with. It's eluding me right now. It'll come to me in a second. But I just don't think he fits with the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do it, you have to go all in. I'll be honest with you. If I'm the Giants, I'm going to call the Arizona Cardinals. What's it going to cost me to get DeAndre Hopkins? Let's just put our cards on the table. I need him in my locker room. What is that going to cost me?
That would be a heck of a move.
And the other move is I have him signing Marcus Peters.
Ooh.
He and Wink Martindale know each other quite well.
Indeed.
And I need a no doubt number one. Adoree's really good for corners that are or for receivers that are really fast, but he can get out physical. I need the ball hawk that is Marcus Peters. Because there were a lot of times that whoever was on the other side of Adoree Jackson, whether it was Darnay Holmes, Cordell Flott, that guy just got attacked. So I need the veteran. I'm looking at the Giants a lot like I look at the Detroit Lions. Yeah, you've got draft capital. How many young guys do you want on this team? I need some vets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at with the Giants.
At number 11.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Go
ahead, Dallas. All right. You never believe in us. You're right, I don't. And weird.
Why should we?
How many times does Lucy have to pull the football out from underneath me before I go? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You set that ball down, and then I'll kick it.
Well, I'm sorry. Is it supposed to make me feel all warm and fuzzy that Mike McCarthy's taken over play calling duties?
It
because
shouldn't.
that was outdated 5 years ago.
Yeah, it shouldn't. You ran Kellen Moore out of town, which doesn't make any sense to me unless you're just setting up Mike McCarthy for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
I also have this weird feeling that somehow Tony Pollard's going to get out of that building. There are too many beat writers that talk about their teams making a run at him.
He could, but I also see them restructuring Zeke and giving Tony money.
You're going to have to. He's the best running back on that team. And where I'm at with Dallas is a lot of people talk about their weapons, and Dallas needs a lot of just little tweaks.
Mm-hmm.
And you need a safety that can really – I mean, you were talking about Brian Branch earlier. I love him with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Love him there. I don't think he makes it that far. But if he did, I'm going to run to the podium as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I have him taking Zay Flowers, because I love Zay, and I had to find somebody to take him so I could talk about him and my love for him and how I want us to be best friends and do karate in the garage.
Right.
But having a deep threat like that – I mean, the Odell Beckham – flirting with that's cute. He's not really the guy that you need. CeeDee Lamb is your no doubt number one.
Yes.
I think Michael Gallup can be a 2 with a strong 3. That's something you don't ever hear people talk about. It's one thing to have, if you're going to play just 12 formations or 12 personnel all the time, and you've only got 2 receivers on the field, that's one thing. It's another when you come out in 3 wides. Okay, how much attention is that slot guy taking off of me? How much attention is that other deep threat taking off of me? If I've got somebody in Zay Flowers that I legitimately think is going to run a 4.3 flat, now Michael Gallup can do more of his work. And that deal's not such an albatross. I need somebody that can take coverage off him because he's not a great 2. But I think he can be a very good 2 with a good 3. And then the player that I'm going to chase is Larry Ogunjobi. I need a presence on the entire interior of that line. And frankly, I've watched what Stephen Jones does drafting those guys. Track record's not so great. Maybe just go get the known quantity.
Right. Get the veteran guy, bring him in to bolster that defensive line. Not bad. Dallas Cowboys coming in at 11, that'll rankle some people, but I mean, your quarterback proved it. I feel like your quarterback proved it in the biggest spot. He's not getting it done. So I need to put as much around him as possible.
Well, the Dak thing makes me nervous. And Eric Miller in our YouTube chat said, if your mock draft the other day goes that way, no way the Cowboys are behind the Seahawks are behind the Cowboys. I get it, but I also can't chalk that up because there was a trade in that. There's a lot of – this is where it's at right now with just reasonable, nothing earth-shattering. I mean, yeah, if Seattle starts trading back and winds up with 5 picks in the top 60, then, yeah, Seattle's going to be real good. But this is where we're at now. And Dallas has a baseline. The Dallas Cowboys have a baseline that tells me they're going to be somewhere between the 7th best team in the league and about right here. They're not going to be worse than that, and I don't think they can be better than that, which just really shoehorns them into right here. And before we go to commercial,
I'm your huckleberry.
Gage Campbell, another super chat. I think the Jets will have the number 1 defense in the league. It's legit, and frankly, I just love that somebody else said that instead of me. As everybody says, I'm a homer.
Yeah. Hashtag no homer.
Yeah, that defense is real good.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on a Power Rankings Tuesday, the never too early 2023 Power Rankings. Who's the team up next and how we're going to fix them in the offseason? We get into the top 10 right after this on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Monfort Avenue. Future 26 eastbound is slowing between Riverside Drive and 240. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest area and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road southbound in Fletcher approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell Technologies President's Day business event starts now with savings on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on essential accessories and free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
The Ingles 2023 Southern Conference Downtown Dribble and Kids Fest, presented by Champion Credit Union, will be held Saturday, March 4th, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Roger McGuire Greene at Peck Square Park. The Downtown Dribble will feature interactive games, inflatables, pep bands, cheerleaders, and parade. Each participant will receive a basketball, Downtown Dribble t-shirt, and a ticket to the noon session quarterfinal basketball games. Check-in will begin at 9:30 a.m. at Roger McGuire Greene. To register, visit downtowndribble.eventbrite.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
The never too early 2023 NFL Power Rankings roll on here in the Sportsocracy inside the Ingles studio. We are into the top 10. Number 10.
The Miami Dolphins.
This is a team that I like the roster. I like the talent that you have. You got to keep your quarterback healthy some way.
Well, you also have the most uncomfortable offseason ever because you have to look at Tua and go, all right, we invested more in our backup than any team in the NFL, and it wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
You can't feel good going in with just Tua.
No.
I don't care what it does.
I mean, the guy was in the concussion protocol for a month and a half.
Well, and he had 3 of them this year.
Right.
I don't care what a doctor says to me because my comeback to all of it is going to be, okay, what do we do when he has a 4th one 3 weeks into the season?
Mm-hmm.
We're shot. That's exactly where you're going to be. And I do not envy the brain trust here of trying to figure out how to deal with this, especially with no draft capital. I mean, they don't pick for a long time. Zach Carbonet is there. That would be a great player for them to have. I think he's a really good zone runner.
Okay.
And Mostert and Jeff Wilson are both free agents. Bring back Melvin Ingram and make a run at Cowboys tight end Dalton Schultz. You need a tight end that can block.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important in this system, and Mike Gesicki couldn't block me.
Right. You kept saying last offseason, it doesn't make sense. I don't know what they're going to do because Mike Gesicki does not fit this system at all. And look, I always trust you because you're the X's and O's guy. But as the season wore on and Mike Gesicki was just nowhere to be found, it was clearly obvious he does not fit.
He stuck out in that offense the way that I stick out in a fine dining restaurant. That's a grown man with a mullet. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. That was Mike Gesicki all year long.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody that can come through and make those cut blocks and the wham block because it's such an integral part of the system. And it's one of the reasons that they didn't run particularly well at times. It's one of the reasons that they got away from the run because you don't actually have the assets that you need. Low-key stat about Dalton Schultz, he's one of the 10 best run-blocking tight ends in the league.
Really?
I would never have thought that.
Did not know that.
I knew he wasn't bad. I just didn't realize he graded so well when you really got past when you dug into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he fits better there. And that would really open up a lot. You could also do that in the draft. There are a couple guys in this draft. I just don't know they're going to fall that far.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad thing about when you completely tap out on draft capital. I mean, I think their first 2 picks are in the hundreds.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to get a high-end prospect. So you are going to have to maybe – I'm not going to say overspend because I think Dalton Schultz is worth the money. He's actually the free agent signing for another team before this is all said and done. But you're going to have to invest.
At number 9. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
The next 2.
They're gross.
The Detroit Lions.
Really? I mean, look, we have gone on and on about this offense, but, I mean, are the Detroit Lions really going into this next year top 10 in the NFL?
You have a pick at 6. You have an offense that's really good. I want you to bring back DJ Chark. Oh, and by the way, you have money too. And you could have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If you prioritize that, you could have a lot. I just feel like they're going to sit at 6. And whoever falls in their lap of Tyree Wilson or Devin Witherspoon, they're going to take it. And I love Devin Witherspoon with them, by the way. And now, all right, now my defense is catching up to my offense. But I feel like, just like I said with the Giants, I feel like it's time you have to start investing in veterans.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a ton of young guys. I need some vets.
Yep.
And now this team is attractive enough that I can do that. I heard a conversation earlier today, and I'm just curious if you side with me here. If you had to choose between Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff right now, which one are you taking?
Jared Goff. It's
Me
the
too.
cheaper option.
It's not even I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking about straight up, who's a better player?
Oh, I don't think I can go there. I think it's Kirk Cousins by a little, but it's close.
Kirk Cousins falls apart every time he is in primetime television.
Mm-hmm.
Secret's out. I don't think there's that big of a difference. I mean, we don't talk about this. We made fun of him for years, calling him Jared Goff. Secret time, he's a top 15 quarterback in the league. And this team is in a beautiful position to add more assets.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be shocked if Bijan Robinson's one of them.
Jared Goff is a top 15 quarterback in this league.
I mean, it's close.
But I feel like Kirk Cousins is the top 12 quarterback in this league. To me, it's the money. To me, it's the difference in what I'm going to have to pay the two that I'll go Jared Goff all day long.
I have no problem with that either.
Yeah.
I'm just I like this Detroit team a lot.
I do too.
And the fact that you kept this coaching staff together, which is mind-boggling to me.
Aaron Glenn had an option to leave. Ben Johnson had an option to leave.
3 of them apiece.
Mm-hmm.
They interviewed for 3 jobs apiece, and they all came back together and went, nope, we're doing something here.
That's right. We're turning this into a playoff contender, and who knows how high the ceiling can go. If you make the right moves in the offseason, I mean, maybe you not only make the playoffs, but make a little interesting run in the NFC playoffs. We've talked about how bad the NFC is. Is it too far out of the realm of possibility to think that the Detroit Lions could somehow end up in the conference championship game next year? Might be pushing it.
It's probably pushing it, but it's not insane.
No.
I mean, who's the third best team in the NFC right now? The Rams? Or the Seahawks?
Yeah.
You're telling me the Lions can't be better than either of those teams? I'm going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
And the player I want to see him pursue is Dalvin Tomlinson.
Okay.
He has bounced around to a lot of teams. They need that interior presence to really make all of the other things work. Because I like James Houston. Obviously, I like Aiden Hutchinson. He was, I would say he was probably 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting.
Mm-hmm.
Who's still really good.
Yeah, he had a slow start to the season, or actually had a really fast start to the season, and then he slowed down really, and then the end of the season was like, oh, he's figuring it out.
The offense is good. I would like to see them bring back DJ Chark. He just fit in that offense, and you have him and Jameson Williams. It just allows them on in St. Brown. You are going to have to go get a tight end. A lot of Lions fans said, "Boo, we traded TJ Hawkinson." 2 words, money. Money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you traded TJ Hawkinson, and because somebody gave you a 2nd-round pick, and you went, yes.
Yes, we will take it.
Best tight end draft in 10 years. Give me that 2. He's in the division. Don't care.
And it didn't really help. It didn't really help Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, it helped.
I mean, a little.
You are what you are.
Pretty much.
Oh, you remember that thing we said about number 9? Number 9 is a little gross, and you go, oh, my God, the Lions are 9.
Yeah.
Number 8?
Yeah.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
How high are we going with Trevor Lawrence right now? You had to do you just spur of the moment. You had to do your quarterback ranking. We'll obviously be doing one of those in the offseason, but how high you got him?
7?
I think that's about where I'm at.
7?
Nobody played better football.
And by the way, they get Calvin Ridley this year too.
Very few, if any, quarterbacks played better football at the end, at the last 9 weeks of the season than Trevor Lawrence did.
I'm dead set Keely Ringo's going to end up on this team because he's going to fall, and Jacksonville, every time I hear his name, that's who who he's attached to.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you 2 gigantic corners on the outside. That makes his defense formidable.
Reunite him with Tyson Campbell. I get it. You got Calvin Ridley coming in to add to the pass.
I feel very sure they're going to bring Evan Ingram back too. He just fit in that offense too seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that anybody else is going to get duped by that. And what I mean by that is a lot of times you'll see free agents have a year in one spot, and then some team just cannot help themselves But to overpay them, I'm not sure it's going to happen with Evan Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll get him back on a 3 for 36 is what's stuck in my head. So I'm just going to go with that. Bring him back. The weapons are good. And then you make a run at my free agent signing, which is Eagles defensive tackle Fletcher Cox, because they're not bringing him back. I don't see any way that they do.
Okay.
Not because they don't want to, but because eventually the dollars and the cents have to make sense, and you got way bigger.
So do they lose them both? They lose him and Hargrave?
No. We'll get to that when we talk about Philadelphia.
One or the other.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to look at Javon Hargrave and go, you tell me what number makes you feel pretty. Whatever that number is, you just write it right there, and we'll send that check.
I can't blame that thinking. Jacksonville Jaguars at 8 seems weird, but
it seems crazy when you
think
say
about the turnaround that they've had in one calendar year from the Urban Meyer experiment. It's completely flipped the script. Trevor Lawrence came into his own at the end of the season. Those weapons paid off. I really do like this team.
I do too. A lot.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The most important message of the day is coming up. Plus, we'll get into the top 7. Who is just outside the top 5 in the 2023 Never Too Early NFL Power Rankings? Next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wild numbers for Valentine's. Temperatures in the upper 40s tonight. 47 degrees in the valley. Cloudy on Wednesday. Close to 70 tomorrow. And then a Pacific front marches through the Carolinas Thursday. We could see some half-inch to 1-inch rains Thursday night, Friday morning. Highs Thursday in the 60s and turning cooler Friday with morning showers, high 52. Much colder Friday night, 23. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving is slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue north and southbound approaching Edgewood Road slow. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road delays. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Again, Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go near Fletcher approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. An accident reported on Boylston Highway near Broad Point Drive. Not seeing any backups here at the moment. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The new Crispy Melt Taco is now at Taco Bell. It's a freshly fried shell with a melty cheese blend and your choice of seasoned beef or black beans inside. Try it today at participating Taco Bell locations for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all.
iHeartRadio.
Access to all of your favorite radio stations.
It's Ryan Seacrest. I go by the name of Charlamagne the God.
Hi, I'm Ellen K.
Bobby Bones here. Hola, soy Enrique Santos.
Access to all of the best free curated playlists.
My favorite music. The best songs.
A little bit of everything.
Access to all of the great podcasts for every interest.
The Stuff You Should Know podcast.
The Daily Show podcast.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
And best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Parkville by 3.
Joy to the holiday packages that keep coming at Jimenez Couriers.
Coming your way, but the drop-off location is changing.
She needs delivery drivers with the gift of punctuality.
Anyone looking to pick up some overtime? Anyone?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other grocery store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA Choice and Prime meat? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag.
Time for the most important message of the day here in the Sportsocracy. Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes!
Yeah, it's never a good idea. And look, over and over and over again, I feel like we have to just keep saying the same things because the younger generation, they're just not getting it. Today, I've got a story from the UK where a young man named Liam Smith. Why is it always a guy named Liam in the UK? He's 20 years old, and he got drunk one night, and he had been doing a little too much drinking, and he got hungry at 4 a.m. And so he decided that he's going to go to McDonald's to get something to eat. Well, the problem is he knew he couldn't drive a car because he knew he'd be over the legal limit. But he took another motor vehicle, and that, my friends, is as illegal as driving a car. He took his mom's mobility scooter. It's a 3-wheeled scooter that old ladies use to get around the city. It's not like he took a moped or something. Not only did he take his mom's mobility scooter, but he also had a girl on the back of the scooter, which I think is, your next stop is the Love Castle.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
Your next stop is the Love Castle. Well, had he known that this was illegal, he probably would not have, driven the mobility scooter to the McDonald's at 4 a.m. with a girl on the back. But he also probably would not have parked said scooter next to a marked police vehicle. And as he staggered to and fro, obviously they cited him. He has now been given a 2-year driving ban. They take that seriously over in the UK. He cannot drive for 2 years. The story also says that he is training to be a soldier in the UK Army. He's already got a leg up on the competition, right? Because I know a lot of veterans, and this is by no means a shot, but those dudes, they can put it away.
One of them was with us at the Village Sports this weekend, and frankly, I had 2 different people go, if there was ever going to be a tag team drinking event, right, I feel like you and that guy would be very formidable.
The officials there in the UK that arrested him said, yeah, if you're going to be if you're going to train to be a soldier, you definitely need to be thinking about making better decisions. But he's got a leg up on the drinking.
All of my stories have been Valentine's Day themed. And you can take that for what it's worth, because my crime story is about a crime that happened in Las Vegas over the weekend. Somebody stole the catalytic converter out of the Wienermobile. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile was in Vegas for a series of events tied to Super Bowl weekend, and somebody stole the catalytic converter.
Wow.
It had to be towed to a local truck shop. And apparently, a guy named Joseph Rodriguez was who worked on it. He said, they didn't tell me anything before it got towed in here. The next thing I know, a 27-foot hot dog is making its way towards me. They had to. So there's a 4-month wait on catalytic converters.
Oh man.
9 words, scariest in the English language. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. So they had to fashion a makeshift catalytic converter to get it through all of its Super Bowl activities.
So it won't run without this thing. See, I don't know anything about cars, so I
mean, if they made a makeshift one, I'm going to say it's not as important as, say, I don't know, the transmission.
Right.
But apparently it's rather important.
I guess.
I'm not a car guy either.
I thought it was an environmental thing. Like you didn't really have to have one, but it was against the law.
Do you know how much those things are
one.
worth?
I have no idea. Oh yeah, they've got like uranium in them.
$1,000.
Yeah. They've got like uranium in them or something, and it's there's some precious metal in there. I don't know what it is, But that's why they get stolen.
The catalytic converter off a Prius is worth like $1,000. Okay, don't do crimes. Don't you leave people's vehicles alone.
We are in the midst of the 2023 NFL Never Too Early Power Rankings here on the Power Rankings Tuesday. We're up to number 7 for 2023.
The Baltimore Ravens.
And big news for the Baltimore Ravens. They have an offensive coordinator now.
And it's not Greg Roman.
Nope. He's got some experience in the NFL. He was a former offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Todd Monken.
The offensive coordinator for the 2-time defending champion Georgia Bulldogs. Todd Monken I think this is a great hire for Baltimore.
Certainly an improvement.
The one thing you wanted to do was have a passing game. And he's going to give it to you.
And that's the reason that I feel like with Baltimore, no matter who it is, there are enough deep threats, whether it's Jalen Hyatt, which is the receiver I gave them out of Tennessee, Zay Flowers. I need somebody to fill that Marquise Brown role. That's what I felt like was missing from this team all year. You didn't have anybody that scared me deep.
I love Jalen Hyatt.
I'm in the like with Jalen Hyatt. I'm not in love.
No, I think I love him in this spot.
I do too. Him or Zay Flowers. I want somebody that's real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like Rashad Bateman, if he's ever healthy, he'll be fine. He just needs somebody to help him. You can't be expecting Rashad Bateman to be a first-round pick when you put Willie Snead on the other side of him.
Right.
Or the ghost of the corpse of Sammy Watkins.
Right.
You got to get him a real legitimate target.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the re-sign is Lamar Jackson. And the player I could see them targeting is Cardinals defensive tackle Zach Allen, because I'm not sure the market's going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've got him and Calais Campbell on the opposite sides of Michael Pierce, that's rather formidable front three, and allows Roquan Smith and the young edge rushers to do what it is they do.
It is indeed. And, so by the way, so they hired Todd Monken, and then Georgia turned around
and went Mike Bobo.
Yeah, Mike Bobo. We've done this before. Please, dear God.
Yeah, I think that actually made me happier than that Baltimore hired Todd Monken. Yeah. Just so I could look at you and go, how do you feel about Mike Bobo?
Don't like it. Don't like it at all. I hated him his first go-round when he was under Richt, and I'm probably going to hate it now. Number 6.
The Buffalo Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
There you go. The Buffalo Bills this offseason, obviously, you got some things to take care of, but, I mean, you got all the pieces in place, right?
This is another team you have to go all in. The AFC is getting better around you, which is why for me, if I'm Buffalo, my first call, the first second I am allowed to, is to James Bradbury.
Mm-hmm.
Him and McDermott were in Carolina together for a year. And I'm not saying that's not why I did this. It was just one of those, well, just so you know, I need a shutdown corner. Tre'Davious White is fantastic. The opposite side of that absolutely got bludgeoned. And you saw it against Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
The pass rush, you're heavily invested in Von Miller and Rousseau and Ed Oliver and all these guys. You've got all the pieces there. I like Tremaine Edmonds, who I think you need to bring back. He was phenomenal at times this year. I'm nervous on Jordan Poyer. He and Micah Hyde have just lived hurt it seems like for the last 2 years.
Right.
If a Brian Branch or somebody like that fell in my lap, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna reach for it because I think there are guys in the second, third round that I can add there. I need a shutdown corner because I don't think Tre'Davious White is anymore.
And how are you going to retool the offensive line? How are you going to keep Josh Allen protected?
Cody Mauch. You give me that big 6'5" ginger brother of mine with no toofus in the front. That's a guy that revitalizes the line.
There you go. And he should be available for them when they pick.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's a back end of the first round, beginning of the second round guy. I actually cannot figure out a way that Cody Mauch doesn't either go to the Bengals or the Bills. I just keep bouncing in between the two of them.
Right.
So what do I feel like doing today?
All right, at number 5.
This one's going to sound weird being ahead of Buffalo with people knowing how high I am on Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Go Chargers, go!
The Los Angeles Chargers. You're that in love with Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator?
Considering it's been Joe Lombardi, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because, I mean, first of all, I like Kellen Moore anyway. But now you add him with Justin Herbert. This feels almost like a second lease on life of, okay, now you've paired me with one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. They've already the rumor is matriculating that they're gonna move on from Keenan Allen. Injuries, money, all the different things. And you're replacing him with Jordan Addison. That is terrifying.
Right.
Josh Palmer, Mike Williams, Jordan Addison. Oh, yeah, and then I told you this was coming. And then you go get Dalton Schultz from the Dallas Cowboys because, he already knows the system.
Right.
Worked out pretty well. How exactly are you going to stop that? How exactly are you going to stop that?
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, you have all the talent in the world. It has to be healthy, and you have to do things. You need some glue pieces. You need a Gervon Dexter or a Mozzie Smith or somebody like that to be in the middle of that defense. Siaki Ika. There are guys like that in the second round. That is not it's my biggest need as a team. It's not the most pressing because there are several that can do what I need you to do. I'm going to get after the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot physically believe a team with that much talent is going to be that bad defensively again. And now, I just think now I feel like the offense, you're not going to have another one of those. Wow, they were up 27 points and they ran 8 times in the second half. I don't think that will be a problem with Kellen Moore.
No.
The high side of the Chargers has been this good for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that how good is your good, how bad is your bad? Their bad is very, very, very bad. And I just feel like a lot of that was because you didn't have the high-level play caller. Now you've got a guy that has aspirations of being a head coach in this league. And he literally was just born on third base and can act like he hit a triple. Because if you get this team to the next level, you're the one that's going to get the credit.
Absolutely. It's not going to be Brandon Staley.
No. I've seen Brandon Staley left to his own devices.
Yes, Brandon Staley had his chance, and that was this past year. Now any improvement this coming year, that's going to fall on Kellen Moore.
Our buddy Gage in the YouTube comments said he took a couple jabs on Herbert for MVP next year at 20-1. You could do much worse.
It's not bad. Not a bad bet at all.
I think that's a rather formidable way to put a doubloon or two.
How about number 4 in the never too early 2023 power rankings?
There are people that aren't going to like this, but it's just the case. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Oof. At 4. All right.
Do you realize how much of this team is unsigned?
No, tell me.
Javon Hargrave, James Bradbury. That's 2 of the 5 best free agents on the market by itself.
Fletcher Cox.
Well, yeah, they tried to get rid of him last year. I mean, he's 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You got
he's
a guard.
32.
Is he 32?
Yeah, he's 32.
For some reason, I thought he was just under my age. You've got a piece everywhere, and you're not going to be able to bring them all back.
Mm-hmm.
You're also going to have to give Jalen the big deal, and you should. It's just I saw what this roster could do, and it was fantastic. It would be somewhat delusional of you to not look at what I said about you didn't play anybody. You played 4 elite quarterbacks all year. Then you went to the Super Bowl. You played the elite quarterback, and all of a sudden your defense looked like Swiss cheese. That's what I tried to tell you. Now you've lost both of your coordinators. And now, look, you have 2 really good candidates to just be promoted. Brian Johnson's going to be the next offensive coordinator, and he should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be fine. It's a lot of moving pieces. Now, if you bring everybody back, then, yeah, you're 3. I will switch you with the team that I have number 3 because you have a quarterback, and I'm not so sure that they do. But their roster, to me, is better than what I think Philadelphia is going to bring back. Yeah. It's close. It's close.
Yep. We're nitpicking here. They're going to be at the top of the NFC again. It will be or should be a 2-horse race for the NFC Championship next year for that number 1 seed. And who's going to represent the NFC in Super Bowl 58? Jalen Hurts is right on the cusp. We'll get into the top 3.
Oh, before we get a break.
Okay.
Gage, a resident Philadelphia Eagle fan as well, said 8 free agents on defense. What does Hurts' contract look like? I'll be honest with you, it starts at $250 million. He can call a shot now.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep hearing people say, well, you can take the team-friendly deal. Nobody does that. Tom Brady did that. Name me the other quarterback that's ever done that in the modern era.
Right.
That'd be stupid, especially a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who's not going to play until he's 40. He runs 200 times a year. Frankly, I would judge Jalen Moore if he did take that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get your money when you're That's the reason Lamar Jackson's been fighting this for so long. I'm not playing until I'm 39 like Aaron Rodgers. I got to get my money, and I don't in any way begrudge you for that.
Yep.
Go get your money. They're asking you to do a lot. There is no quarterback in the NFL that's doing more heavy lifting for their team than Jalen Hurts.
Agreed.
Get every cent you can get.
He ran it 15 times in the Super Bowl.
Now, if you're Pat Mahomes and you're going to stick me behind the best offensive line in the interior offensive line in the NFL and 2 tackles that held up pretty well against that elite pass rush,
right?
Oh, okay, now I can be a little more team friendly that way. I think I get hit on a daily basis more often than Pat Mahomes does. Jalen Hurts, no. There will be no discount.
And there again, maybe,
and I will not judge you for it.
There again, maybe he does. Jalen Hurts, he's a different kind of cat. He may not go all in for the money. He may take the team deal because that's just the kind of leadership that he possesses.
And you know what? God bless you for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's short-sighted. In your situation, because they're not going to stop. This is the Russell Wilson, this is the Lamar Jackson thing all over again. What makes Jalen Hurts so special is that he can run over you. What that means is that your career is probably 12 years where you get somebody like Tom who plays for 22. Any money you leave on the table, I can't promise you're getting back. So if he takes the team-friendly deal, it makes him even more impressive to me.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you may end up regretting that.
He's going to get a chunk no matter what.
It's going to be a bag.
No matter what, he's going to get a chunk. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, top 3 of the 2023 Never Too Early Power Rankings. We'll close us out after this.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and exit 3. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 eastbound near the Blue Ridge Parkway slow. 40 westbound delays between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and the Smoky Park Highway. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue, north and southbound, approaching Edgewood Road, traffic stop and go. Smoky Park Highway, northbound, approaching Sand Hill Road, is slow. Sardis Road, northbound, stop and go between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. Sweeten Creek Road, southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road, slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road, northbound, stop and go approaching Fanning Bridge Road. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services of Asheville.
First Restoration Services has been responding 24/7 to property damage from water, fire, and storm damage since 1987. If you have a disaster on your property, there's only one company to call first. First Restoration Services of Asheville, 684-1582.
Hey, it's Nate Burleson. Check out my new podcast, The Process with Nate Burleson. It debuts with my first guest, Rihanna. Her interview was just a taste of the heat we will bring you here on The Process. I'll talk to A-list celebrities, athletes, and visionaries about their process. What steps did they take to achieve greatness? New episodes of The Process with Nate Burleson drop all year long on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you find your podcasts.
The new Crispy Melt Taco is now at Taco Bell. Some facts about it are, 1, its shell is freshly fried daily. 2, it has a melty, cheesy blend inside. And 3, it comes with seasoned beef or black beans. And totally feel free to drop those Crispy Melt Taco facts whenever you want, too. Like maybe save them for when a friend's like, what should we eat? And you say, Crispy Melt Tacos. And they're like, nah. And then you need to make an airtight case for why they're wrong.
The new Crispy Melt Taco. Try one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation which vary.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick-ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
Only 3 teams left in the 2023 Never Too Early NFL Power Rankings on a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. At number 3,
the San Francisco 49ers.
I just can't. I can't have them above Philadelphia on my Power Rankings because I don't know what you're going to do at quarterback. And to me, it does matter.
But why does it matter?
Because
you made it to the NFC Championship game with Brock Purdy.
I get it, but I don't think that's repeatable.
Oh, really? Because they've done it 4 out of the last, let's see, what is it, 4 out of the last 7 years? There have been four NFC Championship games in the last 7 years? What's really the difference between Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Trey Lance? Trey Lance is the most talented of the 3. It's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the best arm, most mobile. It's the system. It's Kyle Shanahan. Now, do you get to a certain point where that's a problem? You do. I also think you're going to see better from Trey Lance next year than you've seen in the past. Could I? And like I said, if Philadelphia brings everything back, then yeah, Philadelphia's better.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you have 8 starters on defense that are not signed for next year. That is, I shouldn't say starters, high-level contributors. That's terrifying to me because what was so good about you is your defense would just squeeze the life out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can't do that, then San Francisco can. And I'll be really honest with you, I'm not sure that Kyle Shanahan didn't just watch the offense with Jalen Hurts and go, ooh, I could do that.
Okay.
Ooh, I could do that with Trey Lance because they're built very similarly.
All right, so what's their target?
Bringing back Mike McGlinchey, their right tackle. Jalen Duncan, they don't pick until the hundreds as well.
Okay, the tackle out of Maryland.
Yeah, he's a swing tackle to start with ultimately the goal of replacing Trent Williams with him. And then Chase Panthers defensive tackle Matt Ioannidis. The Javon Kinlaw thing has not gone well.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody that can get pressure from the interior.
Number 2.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. Yeah, I said it yesterday that the Cincinnati Bengals are my 2.
No doubt. I don't see how they could not be.
I don't know. The more I think about it, I don't know if it's close for me to have them at 1.
It's close. You need to re-sign Jermaine Pratt. That's the most important of your free agents. If Jesse Bates leaves, he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
In the draft, any left tackle. For the love of God, anyone. I don't care who it is. Just please, I cannot go through another year saying Jonah Williams is a guard. Any one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Mauk, Anton Harrison, I don't care.
Right.
Just draft a left tackle. And then this is another team, all in. Go after Jamel Dean.
Oh, yeah.
Get that number 1 corner.
He'd be a good piece.
All in. All in. Because that changes what Lou Anarumo can do with that defense.
I'm not sure if he's $17 million worth, but
he would be to Cincinnati.
He would be to Cincinnati.
Okay.
All right. It's much better than Eli Apple.
No doubt.
And we ain't bringing him back. See you later.
Eli Apple could be a 2. He's not a 1.
And then that leaves us number 1.
The reigning, defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, Kansas City's got a lot to replace off of this offense, but they did it this past year. What makes you think they're not going to do it again?
You have to get Orlando Brown under contract.
Mm-hmm.
And then the draft and sign, these are 2 names that are just going to upset you. Go chase Jadeveon Clowney.
Okay.
That's a first 2-down edge rusher that allows you to hold up better against the run. And go draft Jahmyr Gibbs at 31.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a thunder and lightning with Isaiah Pacheco. and he's the best receiving back I've ever seen.
Interesting.
Number one best receiving back I've ever graded.
So just tapping out on the bowling ball.
Edwards-Helaire?
Yeah.
You should have done that 2 years ago. Frankly, you should have done it 5 minutes after you said it. And I would say that wasn't predictable, but it did.
All right, there it is, your 2023 Never Too Early Power Rankings here on a Power Rankings Tuesday. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 3 here on ESPN Asheville. It'll be our Friday edition, last show of the week. See you then.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wild numbers for Valentine's. Temperatures in the upper 40s tonight. 47 degrees in the valley. Cloudy on Wednesday. Close to 70 tomorrow. And then a Pacific front marches through the Carolinas Thursday. We could see some half-inch to 1-inch rains Thursday night, Friday morning. Highs Thursday in the 60s and turning cooler Friday with morning showers, high 52. Much colder Friday night, 23. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and exit 3. 40 westbound is very busy between the 26-240 split and the Smoky Park Highway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. And Sardis Road northbound is stop and go between Bavard Road and Sand Hill Road. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound approaching Edgewood Road, traffic is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road southbound very busy between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road and Fletcher, delays. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. 2 for $6. The best deal in fast food.